The party wakes from his blissful sleep and starts to pray for his spells. When the zombies eventually break through, Ebner stops his praying and turns the undead, allowing the rest of the party to escape down a chain to the ground. While the party decides what to do next, the necromancer appears to mock them from the top of the tower. They decide to tactically displace, rest and recover, while planning their strategy for returning to finish off the necromancer. Except for a single wraith that is quickly dispatched, their rest goes undisturbed. They approach the tower under the cover of darkness. They creep into the eerily quiet tower and explore, hoping to catch the necromancer by surprise. It is not long before they run into some undead lurking in the darkness. The skirmish goes well until Ebner discovers a hulking ogre zombie trudging towards them. As the party engages with the large festering creature, the necromancer once more mocks them from above. The party quickly slays the undead and climbs the stairs to confront the necromancer, who instead of attacking them, offers them a deal. Safety for them and their people, power and resources, and a chance at creating a new nation. All they had to do was pledge their service. The party aggressively turns him down, and soon they are once more engaged in a bitter battle. They manage to slay the necromancer, but not before Joker and Vaughn are fatally injured. Sadly, Joker bleeds out, and in a desperate attempt to save Vaughn, they try to feed him a mystery potion, but to no avail. What treasures will they find in the necromancer's lair? Will the two survivors escape the undead? Will Joker and Vaughn rise as zombies? Let's find out now on Desperate Measures.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Desperate Measures, where our cams are not in the right order, because that's the one thing that I forgot to do before we started. Hello everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Good.
Doing great.
Tom, could you cycle your camera, please?
Sure. Of course.
All right, we're all good. Wonderful, beautiful.
Good. Nice.
How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing well, Kobe. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'd be doing better if there were more entries for the clip contest with cash prizes available in our Discord. You can also find it on the subreddit and type clip contest, exclamation point clip contest into Twitch chat. Do it. Enter.
Join the clip contest right now.
Do it. Do it. Do it. So, as we heard from our lovely Laycap, Laycap is a recap done by Layla and Chris. They're Laycaps now. Half of our party is dead. And you can see some names here, because we already kind of know how this is going to play out a little bit. But, where do we want to start?
I think we wanted to...
The first thing I'd like to point out, though, is how amazing Layla made it sound like. Ebner's just sitting there, taking a nap, and we're just all like fighting for our lives, and he's just like casually like...
And now I need to pray for my spells.
I did what's best for the party.
Oh, I agree. It's just the way it made it sound.
I will look to Jeb. Jeb, we got to get out of here. Do you want to go through this place haphazardly and pick up some stuff before we go, or?
I mean, we don't got much of a choice, I think. I mean, this is a town. We shouldn't have too much problem finding some sort of wagon or a cart that we can use to carry stuff, supplies and whatnot.
You mean the bodies?
Yeah. I think we should take the body of the necromancer just for some proof.
Yeah.
Well,
you put on that there cloak, quick.
Yeah, I'll equip the magic cloak.
And I wield the spear.
Yeah.
All right, you grab the spear made of bone. You grab the cloak.
Yep.
And one of you has the extra potion, right?
Jeb does.
Well, during this point, you can look out the window and
It's the yellow potion, right?
Yes, and see that the undead are still milling about. They haven't fallen to the ground dead, re-dead. They are still here. So if you want to get out of here taking any bodies with you, you might be encumbered and have to consider that as a movement option.
It's fine.
I think that these, and I'll point at the magic items, these may be enough proof. They knew exactly what he had.
True.
We just say he used one of his potions. Can I search around for the, you know what I want, Koibu? I want the good stuff in his lair.
The good stuff in
I
his
already
lair?
have most of the good stuff, but I'm assuming there's some gold or something cool. Platinum, maybe mithril.
Well, the necromancer will have some cash on him. You can pick up a full bag of gold coins. That's 50 gold right there. You can just add that bag to your belt. And then there'll be a like a change pouch, which will have 20 silver and 15 copper in it.
What about the gems?
Which gems?
Which gems does he have?
He has 0 gems.
Oh, shit.
Yes, unfortunate.
Neil, did you say you had anything else other than gold? I'm sorry.
20 silver.
20 silver, 15 copper.
MrMouton's attempting a Jedi mind trick there on Koibu. It didn't work.
It was
Not the
good.
gems you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing he didn't have any rings or anything on him.
Yeah, he's got a ring on him. He's got one ring with a platinum band with a garnet in the middle of it, embedded into it.
Grab that and I put it in my pocket.
Okay. Add platinum ring with garnet from necromancer on
Thank
the whole
you.
thing, so we know where
Yep,
it comes
I'll
from.
add
Knowledge
everything.
as. Excellent.
Okay. Okay. And the weight negligible.
Yes.
Okay. Jeb, you see anything else in here that you want before we fuck off?
There's nothing really else up here, is there?
Nope. This does not look like where the necromancer stored all of his loot and treasure. This looks like where he was hanging out during a fight.
I look to Jeb, and then I look to Vaughn's body. Help me with this. And I sigh.
Absolutely.
I take his chainmail.
Yep.
I take his gold. I don't think he had any.
I was the one that carried all the
Okay, good.
wealth.
So
Yeah, take his chainmail.
chainmail is going to cost you, weigh you. Vaughn didn't have chainmail. He had studded leather armor.
I take
Joka.
Joka's chainmail.
Oh, Joka. Okay, here we go.
We had one set that they're taking.
And I look over to my other buddy and I say, "Can you wear his studded leather?"
I mean, I've got a set made for me in kneecap.
Yeah.
If you can fit in it right now, it'd be much useful because
Sure, yeah. And I'll take off the studded leather.
Let's see. Vaughn was 6'3", 200 pounds. Jebediah is 5'8", 160. So the studded leather is going to be a little bit awkward. I think it'll probably give you... I'll probably give it like a slight AC penalty, which will essentially make it regular leather armor for you
Sure.
while you're wearing it. So you can call it Vaughn's studded leather armor, but it's loose on you and it kind of bangs about, and maybe like try and tighten it down here, but if it tightens there, it's too tight in the front, so it'll just be AC 3 for a bonus of 3 for you.
All right.
well, he didn't have any leather, so that's a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's what, 25 pounds?
2.5, yeah. And
Can
you
you
added
also-
the 50 pounds of chain from Joka?
Yeah, can you carry the chain? Or no?
This is already getting heavy. We're gonna need a cart for all this.
I don't think we can get out with a cart, but I might be able to.
Oh, it was just a chain shirt. Okay, chain shirt, leather limbs. So 15 for the chain shirt.
That I could do
Yeah.
if needed.
Yeah, and the chain shirt is one of the wonderful things about chainmail is that it is one size fits all. I mean, as long as that you can fit inside of it, it's very versatile. It just hangs around you. So
that's better than my studded leather then, right?
So the studded leather is a one suit piece.
Got it.
Because it's giving you like fractional AC. So if you take off the studded leather shirt, then there's no point in having the studded leather limbs. That's no better AC than just regular leather, and it's more weight. So
could I wear the studded leather limbs and the chainmail for
and the chain
AC
shirt
bonus? Yeah,
it would be AC. Fuck. The AC fuck.
So basically, if it's 4, just keep the studded leather.
Right, because the chain shirt will give you an AC bonus of 3, and then the leather limbs would give you an AC bonus of 1 for a total of 4, which is essentially the same thing as just the studded leather. So the chain shirt on its own with the studded leather limbs won't make a difference.
Got it.
That's why I've tried to avoid these in-between levels when we'd have a partial AC system.
So should we just leave this and I'll point to the chain?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be coming back here, right? We gotta...
It's our town now. I'm the sheriff here.
Yes, sir. Sheriff Ebner.
Not a very good sheriff. I let 2 of my people die so far, but... Ebner sighs and, all right. We just need to keep moving. We need to get out of here. We can come back, deal with the undead then. How do you figure we're gonna fancy on our way out?
I mean, we're literally up higher than everything else. We can easily see like where most of the undead are congregating, right?
I mean, they're sort of scattered around the tower, milling about the town. Some of them are pressed up against the walls. Some of them are just wandering through the streets. Let's see. Ebner's movement speed is 6. The zombies
also
have...
6.
Ooh.
Because I'm medium encumbered.
Okay. So zombies have movement speed 6. So it'll be tough to navigate the town quickly without running into like a zombie around a corner from somewhere, because they're going to have roughly the same movement speed as you. They'll be like the slow shambling thing, but long-legged.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? You want to rest up here for the night, you think?
We might have to do that. I'm pretty wounded, and if we get in a fight, I'll go down real quick.
I think we both would, but I don't know if I feel comfortable resting here.
Well, none of them are coming up after us.
Guess not.
We could
Did they just
camp out here on top of the tower, put some stuff on the door, and as long as we don't make any noise, I don't think they'll figure out we're here.
Do they just look mindless, Neil? Like as I peer through the window?
They look as mindless as they did before.
Oh. Okay. All right. I think that's what we got to do. We'll barricade the stairs as quietly as possible.
And sleep. You can pass the night away without any problem. The undead either don't notice you or don't care or some combination therein. And you can regain your spells.
Okay. Here they are.
And then are you going to invisibility to undead your way out of town?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. And where are you going?
We're going to go to High Mountain.
High Castle?
Yeah, High Castle.
Excellent.
Can I heal us?
Yeah.
Can you give me like 1 minute? I just need to make sure on my spell. Where the fuck is it?
Is Invis to Undead a first level spell?
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 Invis to Undead, and I also want to take the one where we can just keep like going, like without having to stop, but I can't find it.
Unrelenting Endurance? Something like that?
Did you make level 5?
Yeah. Unfailing Endurance. Oh yeah, hold on. There's another one. Dispel Fatigue. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 Invis to the Undeads, 2 Dispel Fatigue, and 1 Cure Light Wounds, and then 4 Cure Moderate Wounds and a nap. And then I also have a level 5 spell, which I'm going to do Campsite. Or level 3 spell, Create Campsite.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to roll the shit right now. Here's my 2 Cure Moderate Wounds for myself. 2d10 plus 2 plus 2. Does that make sense?
2d10 plus 2.
Yes.
13 for myself,
Not
so
bad.
I'm going to get up to 23. And then I'm going to roll the same thing for you. 11.
Excellent.
And I'll roll you. Do you need more HP?
I'm at 1.5 out of 2.5.
Okay.
If you
Here,
give me
1d8.
Yeah.
5 more.
Love it.
Okay.
I'll be good for a while.
So you guys can turn yourselves invisible, run out of town at your like jog. You'll get to the edge, and I think this time most of the undead are congregated in town. So what's the duration on this? Like 6 rounds?
For Invis of the Undead, it is 6 rounds.
Yeah. So you can easily get out of town if you book it at full speed in 6 minutes, or at least outside of range of the melee zombies nearby, and make your way. Where are you going? You going to High Castle?
That's our goal. Well, we're going to go to Confluence first.
Right.
And then we're going to go to High Castle.
Okay.
I want to parlay with the Baroness.
And unfailing endurance allows you to.
Basically, once we get fatigued from like running too quickly, I can just cast it and then we'll be unfatigued.
Okay, it's not unfailing endurance. What is it called? It's called
Dispel Fatigue. Sorry.
There we go.
Oh,
Dispel.
put it in the chat.
Thank you. Removes physical fatigue or exhaustion, and you have 2 of these.
Yep. So I'm just gonna run as long as we can, and then get fatigue, and then I'll dispel fatigue, and we'll just go to normal pace.
Excellent. All right, so you guys can run, get exhausted, dispel fatigue, and then run/jog until you get exhausted and walk the rest of the way. And I think with both of you at dispel fatigue, you could normally go 12 miles in a day, but we're essentially doubling your movement rate, so you can get 24 miles today through nice flat ground, which...
With both of us at...
We can
Did
only
you
go
wanna-
6, so we're gonna get 12,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
No, normally you go twice your movement rate in miles.
Got it.
Yeah, so you'll go
that's fine.
24. Did you want to take the upper or the lower bridge to Confluence? One closer to you or the one way at the bottom?
Which one did we take before?
we crossed at Confluence.
Yeah, you took the lower and came up by
Yeah.
the river.
We'll take the lower since we
okay.
already know the way.
All right. So the first day will get you to about there.
I'll create the campsite.
All right. You create campsite, and then the next day you will arrive in Confluence.
Do you want me new spells?
Ebna, I swear
Of course.
that new spell you got there is truly amazing. I don't think we've ever had sleep that nice since arriving in this forsaken country.
No, the food's a little bland though, but
Little
You know.
bland, but there was enough of it.
that there was. Shame about our friends, but
Indeed.
what are you gonna do?
It's a cruel world we live in, but their sacrifice, Callum's sacrifice, we can really find a good life for our friends back home. Yeah. And then the cleanup detail is going to be pretty tough too.
The next day, you will head into Confluence. Still no encounters. You will pass the bridge, where there's going to be a knight with a pair of guards, or a quad of guards, who sees you coming down the road.
him a wave.
They'll note your gear. They'll give you a slow nod, and maybe a little bit of room because your clothes are torn and bloodstained. Even if you've been magically healed, so your flesh is fine, you've still got like signs of recent battle, and you're carrying all of this extra loot, and you're weighed down. You know, the knight gives you a questioning look. Doesn't stop you, but takes kind of careful consideration of you.
I think we
so-
talked to this knight before on our way
Perhaps.
there.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We talked with
Kel
one
Drake? Was that his name?
of them, something like that.
That was a person you spoke to.
I don't know if it's this guy. Can I
Yeah.
recognize the face?
Give me a charisma check.
Boo.
Nailed it.
see.
Nice.
Yeah, no. Keldrake was the guy at the northern bridge, I
got it.
believe. So this is some other knight. You don't recognize this one.
Give him a wink.
He just takes a careful consideration. You get the impression that he is trying to decide if you are grave robbers or not. Or, you know, like the people who show up at battlefields and steal the dead, the loot of the dead, and then go and sell it. Because that's a thing that happens. But, like, you know, whatever. But the knight lets you pass.
Okay.
You arrive in Confluence.
I want to go to the sheriff.
Yeah, I'll go with him this time.
Do I see any beggars on the way? Like any blind beggars?
Blind beggars?
I see any? Yeah. Do I see any blind, Koivu?
You find no blind people, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. And you can make it into the small, little, cozy town of Confluence on this gentle, rainy day. People are inside, but not, you know, just inside to get out of the slight drizzle of rain. You can hear the laughter of, you know, regular folk, the fires burning. You can smell the chicken dumpling stew coming out of the taverns, and the sound of cocktails being poured. You can pass some kids playing in mud puddles with a dog. When you find your way to the sheriff's station, it looks like the sheriff is feeding a fire right now, kind of hunched over it, while you guys come to the door and make your presence known.
Bang on it, Koivu. An angry bang.
Sheriff looks up, sees you.
She opened the door?
The door's open already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I was banging on, but...
You know, if the door's open, you still might want to announce your presence to someone. That's fine.
That's true.
She takes a look at you.
Dealt with your necromancer.
You did.
Meadstead's clear. Still
Splendid.
some undead, but I handled the necromancer, and I just wanted to give you a fair warning that I'm gonna be moving in there.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna be creating a temple in Meadstead.
I'm sure the people of Meadstead would be happy. Are there any survivors?
Why don't you go check out for yourself? You didn't want to go now. Why am I gonna tell you? It's my town.
She gives you a perplexed look. Okay,
Just letting you know.
that's none of my business. You can go ahead and try and claim it for yourself. I'm sure the rightful owners will have something to say about it, but that's, again, none of my business.
Who would the rightful owners be?
You'd have to talk to someone in High Castle that knows better. I'm just the sheriff of Confluence here, and, you know, there was someone in charge of the town. I don't know if they're alive or dead, but it would rightfully pass to their heir if they're dead. So...
All right. You got a weird question. You got a wizard here?
Yeah?
Can I speak with him? Or her?
You gotta talk to the Baroness. That's none of my business.
Could I get an audience with them to report what happened in Meadstead? I feel like they would like to know.
Are you looking to speak with the Baroness to report your good deeds? Which will surely flow to her whether or not you speak to her, or are you specifically looking to talk to the wizard?
Looking to talk to both, but Tempos commanded me to speak with the Baroness.
Tempos commanded you, huh? Well, I suppose you could just go knock on the Baroness's door, and if the gods have deemed that to be true, then I'm sure you'll get an audience with her. It's not like Tempos would ever fill a cleric's head with false lies. Falsehoods.
I think not. True.
It's not like a cleric would ever speak falsely about the word of their god either.
Nope.
Well then, I'm sure you'll have no trouble getting it on your own.
All right. I go up to the Baroness's door.
Right, you can make your way to the keep in town. Let me open up my notes on Confluence.
Before we get there, Mr. Ebner, we still do have a favor from Mr. Fizzib back in Tassel.
He's pretty far away,
This is true.
but we could always go back, yeah.
And we've got to go there anyway. It'd look a little weird if boats went from High Castle over to Mystria, wouldn't it?
It would. I agree. Just let me report my good deeds to the Baroness. Let her know if she wants her people moving in there and whatnot.
I think we've been using the wrong gender here. It's a Baron. Baron Greyfair?
Baron.
Yeah, my mistake. I started saying Baroness, I think. Or someone did. I don't know. I do believe it is a dude. And I don't think you talked to her, the dude,
Nope.
before, right?
No,
I have
we did
never
not
talked
talk
to the dude.
Right.
The only
all
one
right.
we talked to was the sheriff.
I think it is a Baron Greyfair. Eridon, confluence, population. Yeah, there we go.
Population, yes.
Cool. You can make your way to the building. And how would you like to tell the... So you can talk to the guards who can get you your cleric. You would say you want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
So they'll bring you to the gatekeeper, who functions as sort of like the person who lets people into the final realm of the keep, and also the sort of chancellor who decides who gets an audience with the Baron and who doesn't. So you find yourself talking to... Let's roll a die here. To... Oh god, I'm so bad at coming up with names.
Is it a guy or girl?
It's a dude. Kel
Johnson?
Kel Johnson.
Kel Johnson it is.
Good evening.
It's Peter Johnson.
Good evening, Kel Johnson. I am Ebner, cleric of Tempos, and I wanted to come to report to the local Lord of Confluence what me and my compatriot here did in Meadstead. Wanted to give him an update, let him know.
What'd you do in Meadstead? Says the young man. Youngish man.
We cleared it out of the necromancer, and I wanted to give him a status update on what's left there and what happened to the people.
What happened to them? He says, pressing for details.
Well, hate to say it, but they all seem to have perished. All turned into zombies. We killed hundreds of them.
This seems worthy of his attention, and he will lead you into the keep and get you an audience with the Baron. You'll have to wait a while because the Baron's busy with shit, but
It's fine.
that late afternoon, early evening, you guys will be served supper ahead of time. You can be brought into a small room with the Baron, the gatekeeper, the sheriff isn't here, but the captain of the guard is here, as well as the Baron's cleric and wizard advisors. So you were in a room with a bunch of people and some guards.
Cleric of
And,
what?
Cleric of... Where's my randomizer?
Be one of my brothers.
Cleric of Sayor, the god of crafting.
Ooh, that could be a useful cleric to know.
Mm-hmm.
And the Baron's name was
Baron Greyfair.
Greyfair.
Mm-hmm.
I do the usual greetings of a Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Greet him in the normal way. My lord, I've come to report to you what happened in Meadstead. Me and three others set out with our goal to make High Castle and Confluence a safer place. I had heard, I think, reports that the necromancer was preparing to attack. And when we got there, the whole town was turned into undead. We were able to kill the necromancer, as you see, and I will show them my my spear.
I'll
The
show him
spear
the
made of
potion.
bones.
Yeah.
And the potions.
Yeah. Take out the potion and then take off the cloak.
Two of my allies, rest their souls, did perish in the fight, but I thought it would be important to you to know that those two, Vaughn and Joka, were their names, and they gave all they could to protect Confluence and High Castle from the demon threat.
Demon threat?
Sorry, I misspoke. The undead threat.
Right, the undead, yes. So the people of Meadstead are dead.
Every single one of them turned. There's still some undead skeletons and zombies roaming the streets, but every single woman, child, and dog turned.
God. And the necromancer's dead.
He is no more. Smited by the power of Tempos himself. Praise.
The cleric nods approvingly. Yes, of course. The wizard gives like a quick eye roll, recognizing that there are more people involved with this than just a cleric, and not wanting to, acknowledge all of your fine.
My lord,
go
ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, my lord, I do have something to ask of you and maybe your wizard. We did pick up these items off of the necromancer after we killed him, and I was wondering if we could get the favor of knowing exactly what they do, if he could identify them for us.
The wizard steps forward and asks to hold your weapons and take a look at them.
I will hand over my spear and the ring, and I will motion for if Jeb would like to hand over his cloak.
Yeah, I'll hand over the cloak.
Excellent. You hand these things over. The wizard will take a look at them and tell you that he can identify...
Oh, and the potion if possible.
Yeah.
Right. The potion, this is very... You got a yellow potion, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is a potion of grease, I believe. It's a common one. Spill it out over an area, and it will make it quite slippery for a long period of time. The greater area you spread it over, the shorter the duration. This is a magical grease. Anyone stepping upon it will be unable to maintain their balance. It reduces the friction coefficient to near to zero, but not all the way to zero. That would be impossible.
Madness.
Madness would take over the world if you could get it to zero itself.
What about -1?
Ha! Ludicrous, it has no meaning.
Doesn't, but apparently you can do it in, what was it, Grand Theft Auto 4?
Really? Do you speed up as you slip then?
It's hilarious. I've haven't experienced it myself, but I've seen videos and it's fucking hilarious.
Nice. As for this, the wizard taps the spear and looks at the Baron with pleading eyes, and the Baron gives him the 60, 70-year-old Baron gives him a cold stare, and the wizard says, I know off the top of my head. I would love to be able to examine it myself, but to be fair, there is another who would have more to know about it. The Archmage in High Castle is one who has studied a great many things and has an ear and a nose for history. They may be able to decipher what this is.
Do you know the Archmage?
By reputation only.
So you couldn't reach out to him and ask him for a favor or anything? Or send him a tell maybe that we're coming or something? I don't know how you wizards do. You guys are so smart that I know you guys can communicate.
The Baron Greyfair steps up or stands up and says, I can write you a letter of introduction.
I bow and say, oh, thank you, my lord. That is mighty kind of you.
I'll look at him, see that he's bowing, and do a really awkward bow.
But do understand that should you lie, and if this letter comes from a place of deceit, you shall be in grave trouble. Since I have not looked into these events myself, I am taking your word upon it. And if your word is false, you may find yourself in a regrettable position.
If my word is false about us killing the necromancer and what happened in Meadstead, then may Tempo smite me.
This seems to satisfy everyone at the area, and a letter will be quickly penned with you, as a, introducing you to the Wizard of High Castle, the Archmage of High Castle.
Also, my lord, I don't know if you have any interest, or I don't know about your noble affairs, but Meadstead is open for whichever nobleman is heir of it, but as I see that no one lived through Meadstead, I may be speaking out of turn, but it is open for anyone who wanted to take it, and if you wanted to move your soldiers there, maybe you could clear out the rest of the undead and take it for yourself.
There comes a bunch of rabble-rousing at this, where the attendants turn to discuss to one another the significance of this, and the Baron kind of taps his hand on the table, getting the guards and the knights and the cleric and the wizard to settle down, and says, Now, these people have all died. Let us not immediately turn to how best to exploit the situation for personal gain. At some point, we will have to clear out the remaining dead before anything can come of this, and I do believe that effort will be the deciding factor in how these things progress. Not to mention, the great king of High Castle will want to say in what to do with this reclaimed land.
I was on the way to inform them, but I thought that I should stop by your excellence first. And well, I don't know.
I appreciate you telling us of these events. It will give us some measure of security that we are no longer threatened upon that front.
Thank you.
Good day.
Did the wizard know anything about the jacket or
the cloak?
The cloak, yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So if he could write a letter about us going to check them both out, that'd be awesome.
Yes, you get an introduction to the Wizard of High Castle from Baron Grey Fair.
Do I get a letter in my hand that I get to come and show it to the wizard, or is he sending it over?
No, it's a physical letter that is going to be signed and sealed by the Baron.
Me. And I give it to them?
You have it, yeah. And
Got it.
You can read it, because you can read Eridonian, and it says, the bearer of this letter, and then your name, your full titles and ranks and names and honors and everything, has slain the necromancer of Meadstead, ridded it from its pure evil roots, and reported back saying that the people within it are dead. They lost 2 companions upon the route and have acquired these items as proof of their actions. On behalf of, for the gratitude of the people of Confluence and this redemption for the people of Meadstead, I will hope that this letter will serve as an introduction to the Wizard of High Castle for purposes of conversation, negotiation, and it is my hope that the wizard will give every effort in order to help identify the items taken from the necromancer, both for the purposes of better understanding the necromancer and as a reward for these fine people. And then there's some more mumbo jumbo about what's going on, and
it keeps going on.
Yeah. And there's all these conditions and clauses about this is for this and this, and it's messy and long and
my lord, since we're heading over to High Castle now, you probably have another messenger. You don't need us to deliver anything explaining about what happened in Meadstead, correct? You'll have someone else pass that on.
We will look into this matter ourselves before we send any further word on. If you are headed that direction, I assume you can function as the first news.
You want me
the
to...
first messenger.
Oh boy, rumors.
I assume if you show this to the wizard, I assume word will travel quickly to everyone else.
I asked one more thing. If any way that when you guys clear it out, our friends' bodies are in the top of the castle, if your men could give a proper burial,
We will bury all the corpses with dignity, and those of the heroes with extra ceremonies.
Thank you, Baron. You are truly as great as I have heard.
The old man nods. Right. Is there anything else? It's 5 o'clock. It's time for me to go to bed.
We bustle on out.
Right. you guys can bustle out.
Had you really heard of him before, Ebner? I say on the way out.
No. You just tell these great noblemen what they can, gotta butter them up a little bit. Like,
I see. That's very smart. Very smart.
On our way out, I keep a lookout for a blind or a deaf person, Koibu.
A blind or a deaf person. Nope, no blind or deaf people. Sorry.
That's all
and
good.
you can make your way. I guess you'll spend one more night here in Confluence. They will put you up for the night here in the castle, in the keep, since you've done such great things.
Hell yeah.
They won't make you pay for a room. Yeah, you'll get like a temporary guest room here. This won't be accessible to you in the future, but
It's literally the nicest place I've ever slept.
this is true, actually, yeah. You each get separate rooms that you get all to yourself. There are feather beds instead of straw beds. There are comforters. There are pitchers of water brought to you. You've got windows that look out in a small private balcony. There's drapes to help seal the heat in around the bed because, it gets cold in these drafty castles. And you get awoken by a little basket of bread and fruit and cheese and beer being left at your door in the morning.
Shit.
Jib probably cries like a little bit. It's like, one, it's such, like, this sort of gratuity is incredibly foreign to him. It's just nuts, but also like what it costs, like lives of his two friends.
Yeah, a little bit of comfort, a little taste of the good life, only after your friends have died.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck them.
All right. I do believe it is time to set out the next day and go from Confluence to High Castle, which you can do. You'll probably have to do 2 unfailing endurances to get there because it's about a 20-mile hike.
I can add, I'll just do 4 unveiling endurances.
Before we go,
dispel fatigues. Sorry.
Yep.
Unfailing endurance is like a 4th level spell. I keep getting them confused.
Neil, is there a blacksmith in town?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to sell the kobold breastplate for materials.
You want to sell them the kobold breastplate?
Yes, just like for materials, because I understand that realistically,
that'll never be sized for anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh?
10 pounds.
10 pounds. Okay. So, so you can get minimum 500 copper for it because it's worth 500 copper, or it takes 500 copper to make this breastplate. If he's just going to melt it down, you can get the raw cost. If he has any other use for it, he can use it in another way. This is an interesting piece of work that you hand him.
It's like a curiosity, right?
Right. It's a little bit of an odd thing, but if he doesn't have another use for it, if it's just going to be melted down for scrap, then he'll only pay you scrap prices. Let's give him an intelligence check to see if he can find a way to use this or get some extra value out of it. His intelligence is maybe not the greatest. He's a peasant. He's got 8 int. He's fine. It's lower end of average. But he's a fucking clever peasant, and he will definitely give you 10 pieces of gold for it. He'll just drop 10 gold coins into your hand.
Cool.
Yeah, and he'll take the armor and look at it with curiosity, and you can see the gears turning in your head, and as you walk away, he's not even listening to your words of thanks or whatever.
Yep. All right, that's good. That's another 10 pounds off the character sheet.
Excellent. And then you added your 10 gold.
Got to figure out how to cut some other
I changed cure blindness or deafness to cure disease, by the way.
Sure. Okay. And the party heads to Confluence, not to Confluence, High Castle. You will arrive late in the, what do we call it? Not in the morning. Late in the afternoon in Confluence. High Castle. God, I keep getting these places all mixed up. Terrible at this. You can arrive in High Castle late in the afternoon.
I have 11 pounds of arrows.
Wow.
You will not be able to seek out the wizard or anyone else today because it's already so late. So you will find yourself at a tavern in High Castle called... Do we have High Castle tavern names? I think I do. Here we go. Here's my High Castle document. You can find the Dog Pile. That is one of the cheaper inns in town. It'll just cost you a few copper to stay here tonight. Or you can go to maybe like a nicer place if you want. But this one will be a few copper for the night. The nicer place will be a few silver.
Well, since we've had the finer things, Koivu, do you think we can go to the castle, present our letter? Obviously, we can't meet with them tonight, but do you think they'll store us for the night up there?
You can do it. You can head to the castle and try and present your letter, and the guard on duty would be like, well, that's nice, but castle's closed for the night.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go to the dog pile.
All right. You guys end up in the Dog Pile. You will walk into this inn. It has a large common room with lots of pillows and blankets, and it's the sort of place where everyone just sort of piles into one big room, and there's no actual beds. There's just like soft materials that you throw on yourself. And there's also a little divider or a partition, and on the other side of that is maybe the place where you could eat breakfast and have some meals provided to you. And it is here. It is going to be 5 copper for both of you to stay here for the night, getting really meager meals, just some porridge. And it is in this common room you can find a halfling bard who is trying to keep the spirits of the dog pile up. And you can also find a sort of broken down looking fighter sitting near the bard, listening to it while everyone else is kind of off doing their own thing.
So I think the bard's just sitting in a little corner, singing some songs to himself, singing about how great Verasi is over here in the corner, just trying to keep my paladin spirits up if he's feeling down. How, you need the vengeance on the undead. It's your own fault.
You sing about Verasi?
Yeah. That's what we're singing about.
Goddess of Death.
Right? Or is it Verasi or Velthar? I'm sorry, Velthar.
Goddess of Vengeance. Okay.
Vengeance, I'm sorry. Vengeance, not Velthar. My bad. Just singing, just going away about it. How the undead need to have vengeance wrought upon them.
I poke Jeb. Velthar is a mighty just god.
A mighty what?
Just god. Get it? He's about justice. Abner laughs. Oh, shit. Get those mixed up. All right, well.
Exact opposite.
Yep.
He's just like, about justice. I'm just sitting there like,
Jeb, you sure do know a lot about gods. Oh, my.
I don't know. Everything you've been saying, I'm surprised you forgot. You doing all right, Abner?
Just haven't slept very well since our 2 friends died.
I understand.
Let's go talk to these 2 funny-looking fellows. I've never seen a halfling before.
You grew up in a town with a bunch of halflings in it.
Mr.
Never seen a halfling that ugly before.
There we go.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say you speak halfling. I've heard you do it before.
Yeah, that's true.
On your way over there, you realize the halfling's like doing handstands on his chair right now, doing different tumbling things. He's getting bored of singing.
How pretty is your halfling?
He's above average. His face doesn't you look at him and go, he's not bad. And then you kind of notice he's got a little green hat with like some green and red stitching going around the outside. You can't quite see what it is. He's got a real nice tunic on with the same green and red stitching.
Fancy hat.
Yeah. He's got some
As you guys are walking over,
his clothes are more attractive than him, I would say. But he's above average.
As you guys are walking over, the Chives is doing handstands and stuff, and he's trying to cheer me up, and I'm just sort of being like, Chives, I appreciate you trying to help me, but I'm not feeling it today.
Chives will look all downtrodden and slowly pluck his way over to the bar, looking at the floor.
As Chives goes to the bar, I poke him. I can see that the what armor is the man wearing?
Leather.
AKA Tom.
Me?
leather.
I'm just in leather armor. Yeah, I'm in normal leather armor. I'm not looking like anybody special. I'm really trying to avoid people's attention as much as humanly possible. And I'm just pretty down on myself right now, yeah.
I'll poke the little halfling. What's up with that fella?
Questioningly. I'm sorry.
Why is he looking so distraught, so down?
Well, you seem well. You've got your. Do you have your shield out to kind of see your tempest thing anywhere?
It'd be on my back.
Be on your back. Well, I don't know if you're a godly man or not, but he is one of the best with the gods. Well, he was. We got a little sidetracked. We're getting back on it, though. We're getting back up on the horse. We're moving on. It's going to be okay.
Which god? Not
Well,
Harassi.
that's kind of. Well, listen, we're kind of in between that right now. That's what we're working through. We were very good and just, but some things came up, and really, just vengeance is much better. Let me just tell you about it.
Oh, so you're telling me he needs a god, eh?
Well, he doesn't. He's kind of got one. We're kind of good on that. We're in a good line. We're in a good rut. But the problem is, there's not all laws are just. Like, look over there at that Mystria place, right? Like that Scoria. Just because you're following the just laws doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. Sometimes you need some vengeance in your life. It's just how it goes. He's kind of shrug and.
Like a very angry halfling.
No, he's pretty upbeat about it. He goes, look.
Yeah, he's angry for a halfling.
I cut in a little bit here with Chives, and I go, excuse, you have to excuse my friend. He is very talkative. But, what is your name, cleric?
My name's Ebner, cleric of Tempos, and heard you need a god. I'm recruiting.
Tempos, huh? Interesting.
Yep, the best god in the all gods are good, but not everybody is created equal. Some are better.
And hell, Chops, look up. That is true. But when you can hear from the word of God himself and point over at the paladin, it really helps figure out what they want.
Oh, you speak to God, eh? Which god spoke to you?
Well, hold on here. We talked about this. We're in between things right now. Calm down.
Well,
what my friend means to say is that I have lost my way. I do not wish to mention the specifics of what brought me here, but
well, that's all right.
I don't know if Tempos is the way, but the Tempos is, I believe, the father of the god I used to serve. So, perhaps if I follow you, perhaps I may find my way.
Well, we did just lose our muscle and our.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be your muscle.
I look at the halfling.
He's got 8 strength. He's tiny.
Big talk, small man. Used to it, I guess.
Well, I can be taller than you. And I'll jump up on top of a chair.
He is very tall in other ways, perhaps.
Like his dick.
That isn't
The
quite
halfling
what I
chuckles,
meant.
then goes over to the bar. This is perfect. We're gonna leave the mystery at that one. Go get a couple drinks.
And with
I'll
that,
get
why don't we
4.
go to our first break?
Perfect.
We'll see you guys on the other side with a little bit more desperate measures. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Desperate Measures. Before we get going any further, we need to sort
I am 16 AC.
16 AC, and HP is
10.
10. Wow. Love it.
I think this is the best I've ever built a character, to be honest with you. with no armor and 16 AC, I don't know how else you'd really get there.
Perfect. All right, so spells. You wanted to learn, you had a set list of spells that you wanted to learn, right? The ones that were most important to you?
I had like a list of ones I wanted to get, just kind of when we were talking about it. I didn't know what your idea with spells were. I picked ones I thought were kind of bardish and weren't super wizardly at first, ones you could easily
Except for
pick
the
up.
Find Familiar.
Except for the Find Familiar, yeah. But that's, there's more to that. You didn't want to talk about it afterwards. So I wanted like a bird or like a cat or something we could play around with, but could take care of itself.
Okay. So let's save Find Familiar for a little bit later. Let's go through the spells that you wanted to learn. Which ones did you want?
Let me pull up my Excel sheet. I wanted, let's see. I wanted Magic Missile, which was one that was kind of wizardly, but it's a good spell all around. I just don't see why you would ever not learn that one.
Right, the player's handbook says bards tend to learn the less combat spells, the spells that are more used for their theatrics.
I think this is the only combat spell I picked, other than unless you counted Color's Play.
That's correct. That's correct. Doesn't have to.
Other than that, I didn't pick any more combat spells. That's my only combat I picked.
Okay. Well, give me a chance to learn spell. You want to roll low? What is your chance to learn?
65.
65. So give me a D100 and roll a 65 or lower, Chives.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right. Mark it somewhere, and I will create a list of spells for you later. It requires some database editing, so I won't do it quite right now.
I've got it in Excel. I had Affect Normal Fires was one of them.
Roll it.
And let me check how many I can learn to while I'm here. And I have 11 per level. Whoops. There's no D in there.
You also want to roll a D100.
I do want to roll a D100. That's all bad. 60? Whew.
Yep. There you go.
Affect Normal Fires. Color Spray.
Go for it.
Oh, let me just copy paste this. What am I doing?
That one ain't happening.
Color Spray?
I mean, you're gonna do
Nah, Color Spray's right here, buddy.
Nice.
Such a good spell.
Yeah, it is.
That's 3 spells.
Then we have Mount I wanted.
Go for it.
Cool.
Mount. Love it.
And how many are you going to give me? Because I'm going to kind of pick these less, depending. These are all
Let's
level
give
ones.
you, starting out with 8, you are a bard, so you'll have just a few spells, and you'll probably pick them up fairly haphazardly.
Okay.
What else you got?
So, Unseen Servant.
Sure.
Cool.
Wow.
This is going very well.
Man.
Way better than the Malachi School of Magic. You don't get any of your spells.
I guess so. You get ones on your HP rolls, too.
So
I've
this
already
you've
started on
got
that.
5.
You're right. Sorry, I've got them in like order. I've got them
Mhm.
like noted out. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing one of them. Remember? We have Message.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one. Nope.
Okay.
Don't get
None on the
message.
message.
Let me mark that as a no. What else do I need? I guess we're just down to some of the other ones. Identify.
Go for it. Oh.
Do you want it? I
No,
cannot
I feel
take that
like
one if you don't want
identify is going to be stuck, remaining in the domain of wizards, and I kind of feel like Find Familiar should also be like the wizards have their familiar acolytes, and that's I kind of want to limit that from bards. I want
Can we
that to
talk
be the
about Find
weird
Familiar
wizard
later?
pet.
I have an idea.
Sure,
Maybe
sure.
you'll like it offline. I don't want to.
Okay.
Everyone's
Okay.
time.
Sure.
And then so that's fine. Identify. We don't have to get. Hold on. That will change this a little bit. Yeah. Which did I already do sleep? Yeah.
No, you didn't do sleep
You
yet.
didn't do sleep yet.
I didn't do sleep.
No.
Oh, I want sleep. Cool.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Ventriloquism.
Go for it.
Yep. What's the last one?
These are all first level spells, aren't they?
They are.
Can you
I
cast
only
second
get
level
levels.
spells?
I've got 1 second level spell.
Which one was that?
No, I mean I've got 1 slot is what I mean.
Oh,
I just
okay.
got
I see
'em.
what you mean.
Yeah,
So then you should get at least 1 second level spell.
Right, and I'm between rope trick and deep pockets, depending on what y'all think.
Okay. Are there any second level spells that might be useful for, like barding around?
Those are
To
both very
improve.
useful for that. Rope trick's super useful because I've got a 30-foot pole wherever I want it, and deep pockets is super useful because I can have a million things in my pockets all the time.
how does a 30-foot pole help you with being a bard?
I can kneel. You'll get to see at our first tavern.
Oh my god.
He's gonna pole dance.
We've got good ideas here, don't you
It
worry.
said tall in more ways than one.
Yeah, the rope
I'll
dance, because
rope
it's not firm, it's not like a taut pole. It'll be a swing, I suppose.
Right, so if you have like 18 decks and tumbling, that wouldn't really be a big deal, right? You could probably climb up that as much as you wanted and
Yeah,
do what
you could
kinda
easily
wanted.
climb, but yeah.
No,
I'm
don't
gonna be able
you
to
worry,
do it.
Neil.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Give me a rope trick learning check here.
74, so no.
Nope.
Woo! Oh wait, that's bad.
Yep. So
if you failed to learn a spell, how does that work? Do you get another chance when you level up, or
next level, right?
You can
Okay.
try to relearn at the next level if you have it written down somewhere in a way that you
Okay.
can get it. But I think with the Bard format, you typically like try to learn things from people and then you don't, and then they go their separate ways and you don't have a copy of it, so you'll have to like come around to another finding of it again. I
Gotcha.
think
You
Bards
get
will
spells.
probably like, you'll show up at some wizard's house and you'll trade your services for a week or so to get a chance to copy a spell down. And that's probably how
okay.
you've learned them.
Yeah.
Or information trading wizard. Hey, I saw this over there. I know where
Right.
the thing is. If you let me see a spell, I'll tell you exactly where, kind of thing. After
Right,
this,
right.
getting spells from me is going to be a huge bitch.
Yeah, and it'll be like
Right.
more taught because you don't have the read magic, so you won't be able to pick up a wizard's spellbook necessarily and learn from it. It'll have to be sort of gifted almost.
Right.
It'll be we'll have some fun interplay with it.
Okay, that's
Interesting,
fine.
cool.
So then deep pockets, one roll, and then that's
Yeah, deep
So 26.
pockets, lovely.
it's not the one we
Now-
wanted, but that's okay.
There's one question about deep pockets that I've got for you, and that requires it the. Oh, where the fuck?
The
Deep
needle, the golden needle.
pockets. No, I think the clothing has to be very finely made, right?
I've got a 1600 tunic. If that's not enough, I don't. That's the whole reason I got it.
A finely sewn gown or robe of high quality material, at least 50 GP in value.
Oh no, I'm still less than. Oh, I'm way
Yeah,
less.
so maybe do you want that like as a potential for the day that you get the finely sewn garment, or do you want to have that skipped? That can be like an instant reward once you get cash. Is that you will then have infinite pockets.
Yes. Can I just do it for what is it? Displace self instead?
Sure.
Oh, I screwed up on my level ones. That's all right. I know what I did wrong. Whoops.
Let's play self instead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can just keep that roll. It'll be fine. Lovely. So those are your spells. Not Vaughn. Valero.
Valeria.
God damn it. This is going to be all over
Valeria.
again.
Yeah.
Valerio, you have no spells. You will get them at level
Right.
9.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
If I
Perfect.
ever get there, which
Right.
hopefully
You'll totally get there. It's fine. Yeah.
I won't.
All right. The rest of the party. You've made these friends, but it was late. And after a while of this, people started calling from the other common room for, "Shut up! We're trying to sleep!" And you guys can bed down. The morning comes, and the two of you have a duty, don't you? You've got somewhere to be.
Yep.
Yep.
Where are you going?
Got places. to
I'm
be.
going to the castle, Koibu. I want to
Yeah, I'm
see the king.
All
And the
right.
wizard.
Okay. That'll do then. You head to the castle, and presenting your letter, you can speak to the gatekeeper here, a man named here. It's a half elf named Kel Ivan Basket. He doesn't wear any armor, which is unusual for a gatekeeper. Normally they're knights of some sort, and he does have the Kel honorific for knight, but he wears no weapons and has no armor, and doesn't look particularly strong, and just kind of hangs out near the gate to check people in and out. When you present your letter to him, he will immediately bring you to a waiting room and get you an audience with the wizard here.
I whispered to Jeb. Now, I don't think we're ever going to talk to the king and be interesting, but if we did, what do you think about me mentioning Latrine? Try and see if we can move him to Meadstead or something.
We could do that. If we don't talk with the king, we could just talk with the Baron up in Confluence.
Yeah, that could be true. All right, we'll figure that out then.
Because, if we don't speak with the king,
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
we'll do it live.
Excellent. All right, party.
I wait to speak.
A little bit of time passes, and then the wizard enters. She is maybe 68 years old. She's 5'7", 140 pounds, right-handed. She comes in wearing this deep blue robe, leaning on a gnarled oaken staff. Her sandals sort of scuff the ground as she walks. She's, she looks her age. When she walks on the staff, she leans on it. When she's taking the step where she's moving the staff, there's like a bit of a limp in her step. She's seen a lot, and she's quite old. She comes into the room, flanked by a couple of guards. You guys, of course, in the castle have to walk around unarmed and unarmored.
Well, I have to show her my staff, right? So maybe a guard's with us holding it or something?
Sure, yeah, the guard's holding the weapon that you need. And then she says, I welcome to High Castle.
Thank you, milady.
Nonsense. You call me Archmage.
Oh, sorry, I've never dealt with someone of your caliber before, Archmage. I apologize.
It's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Archmage, I bring you some items I think that you could find interesting, and we were wondering if you could check them out for us.
Yes.
I hand her the note if she doesn't already have it.
No, yeah, I think you presented it to the gatekeeper who brought it to her.
Who got it then? Okay.
A spear made of bone.
A spear made of bone.
A cloak. And a potion.
And a ring.
And a ring. Blended.
All from a necromancer. I'm sure you've dealt with
Vile
them.
creatures. Vile. I've heard about the creature in Meadstead. I'm glad you've taken care of it. If no one else did, it would have been up to me. And while my fireballs are still quite potent, it's a little hard to lift my head to see the zombies, you know?
Yes.
Slow going.
Something below your immense level. Glad that we can take care of that for you and keep you here where you matter most.
I hear you lost some friends in that battle.
I lost, yes, 2 friends.
That's a shame. What about that one? Why does he not speak?
He just doesn't know the language. He's just a follower of Tempos.
Tell him to trust me. And she starts hobbling over to Jebediah.
I speak to him.
I think I pick up enough of the language that it's like I've been learning it from him for one of my non-weapon proficiencies. Yeah.
Right.
I tell him trust me all the time. So.
Yeah. I'm just looking.
She comes over and rests a hand on your forehead and speaks some words. And if you volunteer to fail this saving throw, then you can now understand what is being spoken between the 3 of you and participate in the conversation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my.
Welcome, young man. I am Archmage May. My job to see to the arcane duties and nature of High Castle. Forgive my slowed speech. I like to make sure I have the right words.
It's mighty fine, Archmage May.
Thank you.
Well,
Anyway.
words are never something you should give away quickly.
Precisely. Now, this spear of bone and this cloak. Let me see them. Show them to me.
Oh,
Guessing the guard.
Guard
brings
will
them
step
over?
forward and lay them in front of her and she's like, "Oh, you have them. I see, yes. Lovely.
They wouldn't let us hold on to the weapon.
Nor should they. Can't trust strangers with magical items. In fact, you shouldn't have even brought it into the keep. This could be fire trapped. Could kill someone. The guard mutters something and steps back after the reprimand.
truly senseless.
Hard to find good work these days. Unusual weapon, bone spear, like the spine of some humanoid creature. I seem to recall a legend about this. I'll have to look into it. And she goes over to the cloak and turns it over, buries her face in it, takes a deep smell of it, finds a corner, holds it up to a light, and then like nods to the guard back to the items, and then picks up the ring. The guard takes the items in his arms, turns it over a few times, leaves it on the table, steps back and says, "Now, going to cast a spell. Do nothing." And she chants the words to a spell, and then muses as she looks at the guard with sort of a concentrated look on her face, and looks at the ring, and then just hands you the ring and says, "This is non-magical."
Oh, sorry about that.
Yes.
Put it on.
Those two, though, and that potion. Yes, all magical.
You have the faintest idea of what the spear, and I slow my speech, and the cloak do?
The spear sounds familiar. I'll have to consult my books. The cloak could be anything, so I'll need to consult my books for that. Now, you have done a great service on behalf of the kingdom, and I would like to offer you these typically expensive and time-consuming services as a reward for your deeds. I think it is only proper to enable the people to stand on their own rather than asking for government support. If people have to come to the government to solve their problems, we'll soon develop a nanny state, which is no good. So I think good works should be rewarded. I hope that this gift will be used to further help society and your people.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Archmage. Absolutely.
Good.
Who do I... Oh, go ahead.
Yes?
Madam.
Who
Go
do
ahead,
you want?
Archmage. Who would I speak to for a quick parlay, maybe, with the king, unless he's already been informed of what's happened in Meadstead? I don't...
Why do you feel the need to address His Highness yourself? That seems far above your pay grade.
Correct. Maybe it is. I've never dealt with a king before. I'm sorry for...
Well, it's probably all the more reason not to try. But tell
That's
me,
smart.
why do you wish to speak to him yourself?
Just to get across exactly what happened in Meadstead and make sure the story is told right as the person who was there, rather than having someone secondhand tell it and giving him false information.
She picks out the letter again and reads through it and goes, "The necromancer's dead, as are all the people, right?
Correct.
And you lost 2 friends in the process?
Yep.
Are there any other salient details?"
They're still dead walking.
Oh, that's good. She goes over to a table, slowly puts the paper down, pulls out a little vessel of ink and a quill, and it's really time consuming for her to like set up a small writing station, smooth out the paper, sand it down with a little bit of sand, and then like add some notes to the side in her own hand. Takes like 10 minutes to do because it's such a pain in the ass without like a quick ballpoint pen. And then after all that, she packs it carefully away and goes, good, noted now, lovely.
And this probably doesn't mean anything, but thought I'd add along. One of the people who died was from a small town we're from Mystria, out of character, correct? Mm-hmm. It's from a small town in Mystria. Actually, both of them were called Latrine.
Mystria!
Correct. And I just wanted to let you or someone let maybe the king know that those two put their lives down to handle Meadstead. And
why would a Mystrian seek to help an Eridonian?
I look to Ebner.
These two people didn't really think of themselves as Mystrian or Iridonians. They thought of themselves more as godly men who were just wanting to get to save as many people as they can.
That's quite an honorable statement.
But back in Mystery, you see, it's not too good over there. And I hate to ask of you or the king, but man's dying wish was if we could maybe somehow move his people of Latrine, those two, to either Meadstead or to Kneecap.
You're from a town called Latrine?
Apt for a shitty nation, isn't it?
Oh, perhaps it means something different in Mystrian. But in Aridonian, the connotations of that word are terrible.
Trust me, it means the same thing in Mystrian that it does for here.
My,
it's a
my.
shithole.
But I can tell you for a fact that the people of Latrine are not a shithole. They just are in a shithole of a situation. So
Certainly.
his last request, and I don't know if it's right to ask the king, but his last request to me to ask, but if we could move the people of Latrine somehow to Kneecap or to Meadstead.
I shall take your words to His Highness and see what I can do on your behalf. It'll take me some days to sort out the nature of these. Where can I send a message for you to collect your goods and receive your judgment?
Currently, we are in, I'm embarrassed to say this, but the Dog Pound Tavern, or
The dog pile.
the Dog Pile.
Ah, yes, that flea bag of a place. Well, I will send for you when it is time, but it'll take a few days to inspect probably the cloak. The spear is unusual enough that I'll either know or not know within one business day.
Thank you, Archmage.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. You are
And I
most
appreciate
kind.
you passing along the message.
Well, as I said, we must empower the people to protect themselves rather than relying upon the state to protect them.
That's what
That
we're trying
is
to
why-
do.
Yes, good.
We'll
The
be out of your
former
hair.
people of Meadstead were too weak to defend themselves, and we see
And they're
what
dead.
happened there. Yes,
Correct.
wonderful.
We'll start to leave.
Have a good day, children.
Yes, you too, Archmage.
Babbles after you.
Archmage, one question. The spell you cast on me, how long will that last?
Oh, it only will work for me speaking to you. It'll be gone when anyone else. Guard! Speak to this man! And the guard goes, excuse me? And you have no idea what he's saying.
Remember, Neil, I got level 4, got a non-weapon proficiency. I
Okay.
spend it on language.
All right,
And
so
I
I
figure,
guess...
like, it probably let's be real here. It's been like, what, 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, you've probably got words
So
like
I'll probably
excuse me
get
and
it in a
pardon
couple
me.
levels,
Yeah,
but I can, like, I could probably understand it better than I can speak it.
sure. It'll come out as excuse me and you'll recognize the word, but it won't be quite, internalized. It'll still be like translating from one language to another in your head.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's quite clear that it's just working while between you and her. And then she dismisses you guys, and you can head back to the dog pile and wait there for a few days.
Perfect.
When you return to the dog pile, you will find that it has been mostly cleared out. The people that were staying there last night have moved on. The people who will be arriving to spend the night here tonight have not yet arrived, because this is, sort of a place of high turnover. The only folks that you recognize from the previous night are the halfling and the fighter. Warrior.
We'll go drink with them, I guess.
Right. As you arrive, what are the halfling and fighter doing?
Well, I'm sorry. What was your name again, Tom? I got to get the new one down.
Valerio.
Valerio. Well, Valerio, I know that we're staying here because it's cheap, but I think I could do a performance in one of these taverns around here and maybe get us in a nicer place tonight. But I won't be around, so is that going to be okay with you? I mean, I think I could do it. I need to go talk to some other tavern owners pretty quick, though. I don't know if I'd make too much money in this one.
It would be fine, Chives. I'm sure you will do great.
Well, I'm sure it's a good time. I just, it's been traveling. I know we lost all of our gold in that last thing, but we don't have to talk about that now. We can talk about that later. Oh, how's it going? You're Ebner, right? You were here last night?
Yep. You two are here again.
Well, for only so long, my friend. I'm just here for stories. This tavern's kind of empty, so I was thinking about another one. Unless you got one to tell me.
Oh boy, do I got a story for you.
Oh, do you? Chives will peek up and start looking at him.
I will tell the story of Ebner and the 3 Mystrians and how we'll just tell our stories in its entirety, in the order that it happened. Basically think now, if you're hearing this story, basically go back to all the Desperate Measures campaigns from earlier on, and you just in its entirety, you just watch it again. And
from
that's
Ebner's point of view.
From Ebner's
point of view. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the story that we'll tell. And I'll let you guys know about latrine and stuff. And
yeah. I'm trying to think of the deceitful shit you said. That's not the truth.
I said a lot of truth.
You said a lot of lies too.
So over the course of you,
as he kind of tells me about it, I'll go, all right, yeah, and Jeb, this is about right to you, and I'll try to get a judge and a feel for how true the story is. I've been lied to as a bard before. This isn't the first time someone's told me their story.
He doesn't speak the language. Unless, wait, which language are you speaking?
I just have Eridonian, Dracissian, and Halfling.
He doesn't speak Halfling, does he?
Nope, I don't think so. I try Eridonian.
You might get a few words here and there, but it's a long
I'll look at him and go, true?
I'll translate.
I think.
Chops will realize this is a worthless endeavor pretty quickly and just listen to Ebner's story, believe it in its entirety, to write it down. As we kind of get towards the end, I'll go, so there's still a town north of here with a whole bunch of zombies that hasn't been looked over?
Not a whole bunch, but some.
Well, I mean,
maybe after my audience with the king, how many, it's been in 2-3 days. Maybe if you want, I can take you two, go up to Meadstead, clear out the rest of the zombies, and maybe find some, prove my story to be real, and maybe find that necromancer's hidey hole where he keeps all his money.
Well, for a paladin's redemption, killing undead's pretty good, I think. What do you think, my friend? Valerio, you think this is in your book these days?
Over the course of Ebner telling the story, at the very beginning, Valerio couldn't be more disinterested, but towards the middle and then towards the end, he's getting very, very oh wow. And you're asking, so I guess at this point I go, well, I have not had much reason for hope lately. If you are asking me to adventure with your party, is that what you're asking me?
You want to come kill some undead, boy, you might as well come with us. But
well, if you are giving me a purpose to do something, then I suppose.
It'll get you out of the tavern. It'll be good for you. Go back on the road again, doing things. It's better than just sitting in here.
Suppose you are right, Chives. If I can help you in whatever way I can, then I will.
All right, 2 to 3 days, whenever, I talk to the king, and I'll poke Jeb. Whenever we talk to the king, he said, then we'll head out to Meadstead. That's the goal.
Well, that's
the
good.
King.
That sounds good to me. Well, I'm gonna slip on out and check on some other taverns around here. I'll be back here later this evening.
I'll speak slow to.
Good luck to you, Chives.
I'll speak slow to Jeb, and I'll say, yes, the king. And I'll say it in Eridonian and try to get that across to him.
The King.
Yes, correct.
I kind of understand that.
Okay. I think that we just wait. I might take another 3rd level spell here, but I want to do Speak with Dead. Is that possible away from the corpse? Yeah.
No, you have to touch the corpse to be able to speak with it.
Oh.
We'll do that when we get back then. All right.
Interesting. I didn't know that's possible. Cool.
All right, Chives goes and looks for a middle tier tavern. A busy middle tier tavern.
A busy middle tier tavern. You can find. Would you like to go to tavern? The King's
place of
Amber. Right. The King's Amber Jexel's Vineyard or Captain's Cove?
We're gonna go Jexel's Vineyard. We're feeling lucky.
Oh, yeah. All right. You get to Jexel's Vineyard. It is a fairly nice looking middle of the road establishment. There's symbols of Jexel, the god of luck and wine, everywhere. There's grapes carved into the doorway. So it kind of looks like you're passing through a grapevine, and they're a little painted all over the place. And the ceiling is decorated with grape leaf engravings as well. They serve wine here and nothing else. And it is a favorite place of people who like to maybe gamble a little bit, people who like to get a little bit too sloshed.
Perfect.
There's the weekly Chardonnay Club that meets here daily. Yes, that is their name is the Weekly Club, but they have so many members that they have to hold 7 sessions, so each person can come once a week. But then, some people try and show up a little bit more often, so the Weekly Club is really more of a daily club.
Okay, so I'll kind of go in there, kind of look around at the patrons, see that it's mostly full, right? There's people in here, people are drinking, there's gambling going on. I hear coins on the tables, stuff's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll head over to, I assume, the bartender. I'll go, greetings, friend.
The bartender looks down at the short halfling with the instruments across his back, and she says, "Well, you looking to play here? Because Jexel's Vineyard is always looking for good players."
I am. I was actually coming to see if we could work something out. I was hoping to do something more this evening. It's where I feel the money's always at, as you know. But I was hoping to maybe woo you in this afternoon.
What, me this afternoon?
Woo.
I'm sorry. I am married, young man.
I am sorry. It's hard to see hands down here, right? It's short. Pop up on a chair and go, oh, I see the ring now. I'm sorry. Well, here's what I was after, my friend. I can do a little bit of singing, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of playing today. And then I want to put on a show this evening, but I need your help for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even make this easier on you. I'll play for free right now and give you something for free. But later, you have to charge at the door for my services.
How much are you going to charge?
Well, that's the thing. This is your tavern. You know your patrons better than I. I wouldn't presume to know what would be a fair price.
I wouldn't want to lock out any business.
Good show, though.
Okay.
And he'll slowly pull out his whistle, and he'll start playing a little bit, and he'll cast Unseen Servant.
Okay, you create a Unseen Servant.
And he'll slowly pick up a drink, and as he plays, he'll have the drink dance in front of him over the table.
She smiles at the show and goes, well, let's see how you do here. And if you do well today with this crowd, then tonight we can put a cover on it. We'll call it
Sounds good to me. And I'll do a singing, dancing little performance show for maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
Not for long enough to matter, but not enough for the whole day.
Sure. Okay. You'll easily be able to get your food and beverage covered and make a little cash on the side.
Okay.
The rest of the party has a few days of downtime here. What are we going to do?
I'm going to start making continual light stones.
Oh, I wanted to do this.
Here we go.
Pocketing lots and lots of continual light stones.
I would like to put one on my ring.
How do you put it on your ring?
Can't I just?
Oh, you mean so you want to enchant the ring to be a ring of continual light?
Correct.
Okay, so this means it will be bright as daylight for 60 feet around you, whenever you wear at all times.
I love
that.
So
you go to bed and it's daylight. You walk through the city streets, it's night.
I can pocket it, correct?
It's bright as daylight. It'll shine through your pockets.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I like that.
I thought
you can cover it up eventually, though, right? There's a way to take the light.
Yeah, if you can get a truly opaque thing and hold it in, then yeah. So if you get it in a leather bag and close the top really well, then it won't shine through. Leather won't.
Okay, I'd like to cast continual light on my ring, and then I want to get a shitty small burlap sack. Can I cast continual darkness on that? And then if I put the ring inside the continual darkness burlap sack, will it be just...
Is there a continual darkness spell?
The reverse spell continual darkness causes complete absence of light, similar to the darkness spell, but of greater duration and area. It's continual light, the reverse, but yeah.
Yeah, continual absence. So if you cast continual darkness on your bag, then wherever the bag is, there's going to be a 60-foot radius of darkness. Yeah.
Okay, so if I have a nice leather bag, and let's say I cast continual darkness on the ring, actually, and then I put the ring on.
You don't even need a nice leather bag.
Oh, just any leather.
leather bag.
And then I pull.
It says if the spell's cast on a small object that is then placed in a light-proof covering,
yeah,
the spell's effects are blocked until the covering is removed.
And I pull that out, then I'm 60 feet around me is just pure darkness. Correct?
I do believe so.
Interesting. That could be like our. Okay, we're fucked. We pull it out and then we run 60 feet. Well,
you'll all be equally fucked because no one will know where they're going, right?
Correct. But like, if I pull that out, I would assume like, okay, we're completely fucked. We just need to run. That'll give us some like, okay, they don't know that it's only 60 feet of darkness. They might think that they're just blind, but we're all blind, so we just book it. I mean, I think that could be pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah. I would love to see you guys running around in the literal dark.
Well, if you just pick a spot, okay, so if I just pick a spot, right, I'm completely blinded. I just pick a spot and then I start running. Eventually, I'm going to hit light, correct?
Yeah, totally. But also, like...
You're going to run into so many people in there.
Go outside to a park, close your eyes, and then just run it for 60 feet. It's a trip to try and run in the dark.
I'm not saying this is, like, the best plan. I'm just saying
Sure. These things are viable. I just want you to...
Probably.
Yes.
It will probably be very useful in emergency. I just want to temper your expectations to realize that running or traveling...
There are some shit that can go wrong, correct.
Yeah, okay, cool. As long as we're all on the same page, then awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to get a bag, and I'm going to get my continual darkness, and I'm going to put it on a pebble or something, and then I'm going to put that pebble in the bag, and I'm going to close the bag. I'm going to put that bag on my side, on my left side, and I'm going to get another bag, relatively cheap bag, put one on my right side with a pebble, with a continual light. So if I want to see, I'll open my right pebble and pull it out. Or I'll just put it on the ring, actually, so I can wear it. It's easier. On the ring in my right bag, and if shit's real fucked, I will just dump the left bag and the pebble will fall out.
Okay. So the ring goes on your hand.
The ring is in my right pocket. If I want to see, I put it on.
Put it on.
Correct.
Okay.
The left bag is filled with, we'll call it a pebble. And
dark stone.
If issue happens, I pull the bag and the pebble drops on the ground.
Right.
And so now what happens? So say I'm in complete darkness now, and I can even test this in my hotel room somewhere or somewhere out in the forest. I'll go out and test it. I take the pebble and I drop it on the ground. And now I can't see anything, but I know where my bag is on my right side. So I put my hand in my bag and I put the ring on and I pull it out. Now what happens?
You will have the continual light and the continual dark will cancel each other, and it will just be neither effect.
So I put my ring away in my bag. Darkness is back.
And then it's darkness back. Yes.
Okay. So I pull the ring out, grab the pebble, put it in my left back. Yep. And then so I pull out the ring. I'm wearing it again. Everything's canceled. I grab the pebble. I put the pebble away. And now I put the ring away. Then
it's normal. Right.
Very useful.
Okay. Very useful. And I cannot wait for the comedic effects of you like accidentally stumbling and your light bag, your darkness bag opens ever so slightly. Like the tie is just sort of loosened and all of a sudden the whole street is plunged into darkness and people are yelling at the careless wizards and clerics and it'll be great. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Is it possible to go to like a leather worker or whatever and get like a specialty made? Do zippers exist now or no?
Zippers do not exist.
Do you just get a bag and you tie the bottom?
Button bags exist?
Yeah, but that's not going to be tight enough. You're going to want you're going to want a bag that you close over and then tie around the closed bit so that there's no like little Yep.
You make it look like candy, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I don't know the exact knot name, but there's a knot. It's like it's literally like a shoelace. Like you can just pull one thing and it'll come undone. Yeah. That is the knot that I'm gonna have, but it's only when you pull it. Obviously, if I fall, shit can happen.
Right.
But, that is the goal. Is like the bag is actually upside down. So if I need to, I grab the string and I pull it, and then the light falls out. Does that make sense?
Okay, so the bag is upside down and attached to you by a different thing, and then the strings that hold the bag are attached differently. So you've got two sets of attachments, one to yourself and one to close the bag, and then you just like pull this string and the bag opens, and in theory the rock falls out, which probably will happen. Yeah. And then everything will be in dark, and the rock will be on the ground.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay.
That's the theory.
It is so. Excellent.
Just add that to the list of things that can go wrong when you roll a 1.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. That's what you're doing for these few days of downtime. What about Jebediah? What are you doing during this downtime?
I only had 1 day of this. I had some other things I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, we'll get around to everyone.
Okay, cool.
What are you doing, Jebediah?
Figuring out that my bag miscalculated is weighing more than it actually does.
Your bag calculations are off?
Yeah, I just did it with just the calculator on my computer, and it says
I've had
it's
it
10
break on
pounds
me
lighter
before.
than it is.
I've gone through and had to like redo the numbers, and it's fixes
Yeah,
it
so
after you do it.
for some reason, if you remove a row without first modifying it, it doesn't change the thing. So all you got to do is change one number, and it fixes itself. So it should be fixed now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
If there's ever a
Perfect.
miscalculation, just change any figure, and it'll redo itself. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that's much better. That makes sense then. That is 10 because that's how much the kobold shit ass weighed.
Perfect.
Anyway, let's see. It's a few days.
Yeah.
Hanging around. At some point, I'm going to bother Ebner. We've got that amulet we found a while ago. It's like gold and silver, and it's got a quartz crystal in it. It's like, hey, let's go sell this.
Yeah, we'll go sell that to a nobleman or something, a noblewoman.
Or a jeweler.
We'll go to the finer district. I'm sure that some fine people live there and
Yes.
start.
High Castle is one of the few big cities here. It is perched on the cliff overlooking the Grand Canal of Arcadia. Let's bring us to a little view of it over here. It sits many, many hundreds of feet up above this cliff. There's a switched back staircase that goes all the way down. It's a long fucking hike to get down there and up there, but that's how we transport goods. There's also a couple of winches that can be lowered with hooks to raise buckets or boxes up the cliff rather than having to carry it manually. And you will find that one of these nicer districts are on top of the cliff, overlooking it from above. That's where the finer people are, with the view of the canals. So you can head down to this district and look for what? A jeweler? A merchant?
Yeah, jeweler.
No. Well, before we go to a jeweler, I'll say, Jeb, maybe we cut the jeweler out and we can just find a nice, pretty lady and ask her if she wants it. Who's wearing some fancy jewelry and adorned, maybe? Or do you think just going to a jeweler would be best?
Hey, lady,
I mean-
you want an amulet?
Yeah, well, it might happen, okay?
I mean, I don't know. Do rich people just buy things like that?
Oh, I don't really know, but I think that they do.
You think that they do? Well, you know what? You seem to know, so I'll hand him the amulet.
Come with me. I'm gonna show you a magic trick too.
Okay. You've shown me a lot of magic tricks, but
All right.
If you say so.
Is there a stool around Neil or something I can get perched on?
A stool?
A rock that I can jump on?
Probably not in the middle of a fancy town like High Castle.
Is there a what's it called? A water fountain? Not a water fountain, but like a.
Oh yeah, there'll be a fountain in the middle of like a square.
I jump on the fountain. I'm sure
Okay.
that there's like a thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a ledge there, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Ebner, the cleric. And I am here to show you the power of tempos. Watch. Is anybody watching yet?
Yeah, there are a couple of people whose heads have been churned by this weird
I'm
dwarf that
watching.
pops up and starts talking, but you know, there are a lot of people who are proselytizing the good word of this god and that god throughout the city streets. It's not uncommon.
Watch how I make you all go blind. And I pull the string.
The rock falls to the ground, and immediately there are calls for guards! Guards!
And, well, as they go blind for that second, the darkness fucking dissuades them. I yell, and watches how I make you see again. And I pull out my ring.
You pull out the ring, the darkness cancels. People start looking around, and there are still cards of guards! Someone's fucking... another student is screwing around! Get him!
I put my pebble away and say, it was all an illusion. It's just, now, since I have your attention, does anyone want to buy this amulet?
One of the shopkeepers walks over to you. He's got big burly arms. He's a weaponsmith. He's like, hey, you playing pranks on the people again, huh? Is this another one of those it's just a prank bro moments? Don't mind if I just cast the entire courtyard into darkness? I'm doing business over there. And if it's dark, someone could swipe my gold. What sort of mischief are you getting me into, huh?
I would assume it was far enough away from him, right? Or was it just...
I mean, it's 60-foot radius. It's 120-foot diameter. But even so, like, imagine someone going in town and, like, setting off stink bombs or, little smoke bombs. It's just going to piss people off, you know? It's amusing to the person doing it, but, like...
It was very good.
And if you select others.
I wanted to see if anyone wanted to buy this here amulet, and I'll show him.
He glares at you. Let this be a warning. If I catch you playing tricks anywhere near my market again...
Sorry, sir. Maybe we should go to the jeweler, Jeb.
And you should probably take off those amulets. Tempos doesn't like it when people adorn himself with their things when they're not true believers. You know?
Tempo? Wait, what does he mean?
He's saying that you're not a real cleric and that you're just some kid playing some pranks and that you shouldn't be adorned with symbols of Tempos.
He's lucky that I didn't pick my spells for the day.
He just gives you a talking to, like a grumpy old man not understanding that you're just like trying to have some fun and get some attention. And he's like, you're disrupting society. How dare you just start like throwing around darkness? Don't you know people have got places to be? We don't have time for your childish pranks.
I apologize, sir. And now I'm gonna find a jeweler far away from here.
Yeah. All right, you can find a jeweler and you can sell your ring. What was it?
The amulet. So
it was an amulet.
It's a small gold and silver amulet.
Excellent. Do you remember where you got this?
Yeah, it's in the Crota. Cave.
Oh, yeah, totally. Okay, fantastic. That is actually worth quite a price. This is an item of some value that was given to a nobleman who died at the hands of Crota. DMG. Here we go. And it is quite pricey indeed. Unlike the pieces of armor that were ripped to shreds there, this amulet survived. And you can get its value. Where is it? Someone is willing... The first merchant you go to will be willing to sell it for... Or will be willing to buy it from you for... Where the hell am I here? Roll me 3d6.
You got it?
Yeah. No, it's not 3R. There we go.
A gold?
No, he will buy it from you for 40 gold, 400 silver.
So 40 gold.
40 gold, yeah, but he'll give it to you in silver because he's a merchant of this sort. He usually talks in silver instead of copper because his wares are nice enough. So he'll be like, that's wonderful. I think I could fetch a handy price for it. I'll give you 400 silver for it.
Wait, that's good for us, right? Because gold.
Yes, considering that Garrett was going to give us 6 gold.
Garrett's a little bitch.
Yeah, so like when he tells me the price, I'll like emphatically shake my head.
Excellent. And he will then count out I guess he'll count it out in gold for you because it's just easier to work with gold. You can argue, and if you want silver, he can give you 400 silver, which would be 8 bags of silver if that's what you prefer.
No, I'm fine with gold.
Okay. So he'll give you 1 bag of 40 gold in exchange for the amulet.
Perfect.
Oh, he knows fine wares. He's probably seen mundane magic items. I asked him, how much do you think don't mind the ring's craftsmanship or anything, but I'll pull out the lightstone, the continual lightstone, and ask him how much he thinks like one of those can sell for. Do people buy them? Are people interested in mundane? Like,
continual lightstone, he says, looking at it. Give you a couple copper for it.
All right. What about something more obscure? And I can't pull it out of the bag, or you might get upset. But if you want to, I could show you. The way I'll do it is this, and I'll pull up my pouch, still closed, place the pouch on the on the table. I don't think anybody's made these
I don't
before.
like surprises. Last
I'll
time
tell you
someone
what it
asked
is.
me to open a bag, it was a fire trap, and I almost died.
I'll tell you what it is. Inside is a continual darkness stone. So I keep my light stone on, my light ring on, and I open the bag. It doesn't look like anything right now. But if I take this light ring, it is, and put it in this bag, and if I just push my hand in there, will some darkness come, or will it just be
No, it's all or nothing.
Okay. Can I just epilepsy him, like, real quick? Like, in and out, in and out? Yeah. Like, just show him?
Yeah. I mean, you'll epilepsy him and everyone
Yeah.
nearby.
It's fine. I ask him, you ever seen anything like that before?
Of course not. It's very inconvenient.
It's also very convenient when you have another one of these. And I'll pull out one of my continual lightstone pebbles, because it's been 3 days, and I have one of those as well. Would you be interested in buying the duo?
No.
All right. I'll put them both away.
Okay. Excellent.
Those continual darkness stones are... If I was a rogue and I knew a cleric, all I'm going to say is I would get the cleric to cast either Dispel Magic on me or Cure Blindness and go to town, baby. But I'm good. I'm a good character, so that ain't going to happen.
There's a lot of fun you can have with it, but it's also very awkward and difficult in regular life to just have
Correct,
like
yeah. A
these
darkness
things.
stone, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic for adventurers, not super useful for shopkeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's switch over to our new character, Valerio.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for this couple of days of downtime? You've just met these people. You've tentatively talked about traveling with them. They sort of have an interesting cause, but like, what are you wrapped up in right now? Why are you even here?
Yeah, right now the idea is that I mean, something really bad happened that caused him to sort of have a break with Velmontarius, the god that he previously served, and he's just sort of trying to find a purpose right now. I mean, at this point, he's probably still trying to regain that connection with Velmontarius, but it may just be fruitless. Like, he's pretty ashamed of what happened. He's pretty ashamed that it led him to this sort of really low point. And I think he's just looking for some purpose, some way that he can do some good. And, if it either gets him back to Velmontarius or somewhere else, so some other god, then so be it.
Do you know what the deed was where you were supposed to be delivering justice, but then you didn't?
Yeah. So the idea, I think, would be that what happened to him is that he was supposed to sort of, I don't know if paladins do this much, but if he was tasked with sort of, this makes this paladin sound like a glorified police officer, though. But I guess the idea was he was supposed to bring someone to answer for their crimes, and this person. So I guess Valerio had I guess there was like maybe whatever town that he was a part of, there was this young kid that he sort of was like a mentor to, and this person that he was supposed to bring to justice sort of murdered that friend of his that was a younger child, and it drove him over the edge. And instead of doing what he needed to do to bring him to justice, which would be to apprehend him or bring him to the proper authorities, he just went off the deep end. But it sounds like that's not really paladin-like business there.
Well,
but
that's why you were dropped by your deity then, you know?
Right.
Like, you don't get to become a fallen paladin by doing good paladin things. You do it by...
Sure. Yeah, so, I mean, he was really angry, and he basically slaughtered this guy for his crimes. And so Velmontarius wasn't that thrilled with that, and I think pretty soon he realized that none of his powers of holy good were.
So your lay on
available to him
hands are
anymore.
no longer here. Your
Right.
detect
You can't
evil is
detect
no
evil.
longer here. Your +2 to saves is maybe not here anymore.
Right, exactly. So at this point, he considers that a moment of weakness. He's not particularly proud of that deed, he knows that's a moment of weakness and that he let his anger get the best of him, where Velmentarius, my understanding is that he's a deity that is very much so in terms of right and right and wrong. You have to do things dispassionately, and you can't really let your emotions get a hold of you. And Velmentarius really wouldn't be too thrilled with that behavior. So that's kind of why the break happened. Yeah.
Oh. So how long ago was that moment for you?
Well, I want to say it's maybe been fairly recently, as in a matter of maybe months, I would say. Months would make sense rather than like years. Yeah, this is fairly recent because he's still pretty down on himself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it was a couple of months ago, and you're still feeling it pretty heavily.
Yeah, just really no sense of purpose until Ebner came along and sort of tells this tale that sounds like people who are in need and sounds like a way to go about doing things in a noble way, and a way that maybe he can try to find some sort of redemption.
And are these the first group of people that you have had an option to redeem yourself through, or have you tried this before? Or have you not come across anything before? You know?
I think he just hasn't been looking very... I would say the most thing that would make sense for his behavior right now is that he hasn't been looking too well. And this sort of just fell into his lap, because I think if he was trying to look, I think if he was motivated to look, you could probably find a lot of people that are in need here, in this area of the world. But I think he's just so discouraged that he probably wasn't looking hard enough up until this point, and these people just sort of came along. Chives is a great friend to him, and Chives essentially sort of maybe kicked this off.
Chives has been trying to get him out of the gutters.
Yeah,
finally did
yeah.
it. This is our first successful out of the gutters, it sounds like.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Is he gone?
He might be gone.
Shit.
Chives, what are you up to?
So Chives has been trying to get him out of the gutter for a while, I think it sounds like, and just trying to pull him up and just kind of get him back out doing things. I mean, he's a paladin. He's got connection to the gods. He just needs to, just because you're at a certain point in your life doesn't mean that's where you always are, Things go good, things go bad. You got to get back up and keep going.
So you've got like a very pragmatic view about all of this, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Chives is fairly young for a halfling, even so. I mean, his family had a little tavern somewhere, but that just wasn't for him. He liked the stories, he liked the people. He was traveling all around when he came across, good old... I'm not Vaughn. See, now we're screwed up again. I'm one name back. Where's it at?
Forever. Valerio?
Valerio. So, he ran across Valerio in the tavern one day after performing and started talking to him, and it's a crazy story. I mean, paladins have some of the greatest stories of all time. It's, just this is the best thing for a bard to ever have. Just got to get him going.
Yeah. Okay.
Come lawyer you Koibu over some shit while we wait. It's going to be an interesting one, though. Go to the top right of the screen. Okay, so continual light says, as I quoted, continual darkness says the reverse spell. Continual darkness causes absence of light, similar to the darkness spell, but of greater duration and area. Does that mean...
it does say that.
Does that mean...
I'm sorry, guys.
You're back. You're good.
You're good.
This internet is crap here. Sorry, guys.
Does that mean that continual darkness is further than the continual light spell? And does that mean if I pull out both of them, does that mean that there's an area around us that is...
No, the two effects definitely just cancel each other throughout the whole area.
The whole thing. So even if continual darkness is further... Because the only reason I would
so poorly defined, it's just greater duration and area, with no questioning about how greater the area or duration is. First off, the duration is permanent, so how can it be a greater duration? Okay, is it super permanent?
The way that I would weirdly lawyer it is it says cancels the darkness so that the otherwise prevailing light condition exists in the overlapping areas of effect. So if darkness is further out, does that mean darkness technically prevails and we'd have a quote unquote aura of darkness around us?
It does specifically say overlapping. Oh,
Correct. Which
there's
is
also
weird.
a wizard version of the spell, and so I get these two mixed up because the two are not identical. Hold on. Okay.
Are we on
Yeah.
break, guys?
No.
No, we're not on break. We're still live.
Okay.
Or do you think that this is talking about the level 1 spell, Darkness, rather than it prevailing over the continual light? It's weirdly worded.
If other than the overlapping, I was totally
okay,
on
no,
board
that
with
totally
the
makes
You
gradient.
think that's what it is?
Yeah, it's similar to the darkness spell, but of greater area and duration, because the darkness spell is probably lesser area and duration
Let's
than the.
See. Oh yeah, AoE is a 20-foot globe for light. Range is 120 yards. So the AoE is bigger. Is that what it's saying then?
I think so.
Okay.
think
Range
that's how it's
AoE
being
60.
read.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. All right. Good. I
need
just
to
want to
cycle
make
my
sure that. I'm not sure.
What's that, Tom?
Sorry, guys. Do I need to cycle my camp?
No.
I do.
Okay.
We'll do.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Because it would be fun as fuck if
I
I could
gotcha.
walk around and we can see, but there's like a huge aura of darkness just coming at people.
Continual light brought into an area of magical darkness, or vice versa, cancels the darkness, so the otherwise light prevailing condition exists in the overlapping areas of effect. A direct casting of continual light spell against a similar or weaker magical darkness spell cancels both. Okay, so if let's say you put the continual darkness stone down on the ground.
Yep.
And you walk away to the very
5
edge of
feet.
the you walk 100 feet away or a mile away. Then you pull out your continual light stone and you walk into it. You will get an eclipsing of the light and the darkness canceling, and one area would be light and one area would be dark. And if it's twilight, then everything to your, if you walk to the point where you're at the very edge of the continual light, the continual darkness, then you'll have a Venn diagram where it's dark over
Correct.
here, light over here, and then the regular twilight condition in between.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well, I don't know if it's even regular twilight because it says
If it were twilight when you had the spell cast.
if it were twilight, okay.
Yeah.
Cancels the darkness so that the otherwise prevailing light condition exists in overlapping areas. So even if I have both of them out, it'll still be light. It won't even be canceled. So say I have both of them out at night, it would
It's still
it'd still be light.
The prevailing effect is the general conditions.
The prevailing light conditions exist. Oh, okay. I thought it meant
Yeah.
the prevailing continual light. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. This is just a very interesting spell.
Cast an object.
If you want to
into the air,
trip, go read all the wizard spells. There's a whole bunch of really
sure.
weird shit. There's so much.
And third case, continual light space about 1 foot behind the creature if it's successful with a saving throw. And the spell also blinds a creature if successfully cast on the visual organs. If the spell is cast on a small object that is placed on light for covering, light effects are blocked. Continual light brought into an area of magical darkness, cancels the darkness. What about just a regular... Oh god, this is so complicated. Love the complications and the weirdness.
I love Dewey.
Objects
So
in
much reading and
darkness.
interpretation too. You need a lawyering class, a true law class to read through the 2E book just to understand what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And over here in section 32, we're going to contradict our previous section 50% and then
Exactly.
reference you to another table,
Oh boy.
which we will then contradict what we said before.
Burst causes darkness, half the duration. Magical darkness is equal to that of any light or magical light source. Any normal light source or magical light source of lesser intensity than full daylight does not function in magical darkness. A darkness spell cast directly against a light spell cancels both, and vice versa. And then a continual light cast against any magical darkness will cancel both. Okay. Alright, so the lights and darknesses are sorted, I think, and they cancel each other in the area, but if they're cast against each other, they cancel each other all the way.
Correct. I take Jeb out to the forest real quick.
Okay.
Jeb, we're going to test something, okay?
Well, what are we testing?
I'm going to see how this works just to make sure that we both can. I want to see if I can see in this darkness. So just give me a minute. And
Okay.
I pull out the darkness thing. So the darkness pebble is on the ground right now.
Mm-hmm.
Think right before you pull down, wait a minute, what darkness? And then it just goes all
Yep,
dark.
there it is. And
that-
I cast a dispel magic on myself. I think I'll do, instead of dispel magic, I'll do a cure blindness on myself.
You should play the Jackass theme right now. Sorry.
Wait. So you put the darkness stone on the ground and you cast Cure Blindness on yourself?
Correct, because I think it's supposed to be like cure magical blindness, because it says in the spell does not restore or repair visual or auditory organs damaged by injury or disease. So like, what else would it cure than magical darkness on yourself, or magical blindness on yourself?
So I think what it's saying is if like you have your eyes removed, then you don't like your eyes don't heal from this spell.
But if your eyes are fucked, they will heal.
Like, I think if you've got, like, cataracts or whatever, maybe Cure Blindness will fix it. Or if someone has cast light in your eyes so that you are blind by it. If someone, like... Because if you cast continual light on a person's visual organs, then they'll be blind. So then Cure Blindness will get rid of the light effect on you. Or perhaps if you have some sort of other magical blindness from
So
any number
Cure
of
Blindness
things.
did nothing there.
Right. So in the magical darkness, Cure Blindness is useless. Does nothing.
Am I able to come out the next day and try the Dispel Magic on one item, which would be my eyes?
Your eyes aren't magical to begin with.
I guess like my question would be like the darkness is magical, right?
Yes.
It also can do it in a 30-foot cube. If I do Dispel Magic in the 30-foot cube instead, will that 30-foot cube be normal daylight? Or would it just kill the stone? I don't know why I'm testing this. I'm sorry.
So if your 30-foot cube is not, let's say the stone has a 60-foot radius, right?
Correct.
So if you cast Dispel Magic away from the stone, but still within the aura of darkness, I don't think it does. It either will destroy the entire darkness permanently, or it'll do absolutely nothing.
Okay.
It'll do one of those two, but it won't like make a block of light within the darkness, right?
Okay, cool. That's good enough. I can put the stone away and shit. Just
okay.
I'm Ebner, and this is blonde or not.
Yeah.
Just cast the spell on Jeb, and the Jeb goes, ah!
All right.
Ebner, I can't see.
I put it away. We're good.
Jeff, open your eyes.
You're good.
I still can't see.
Okay, let's flip over to Chives. We were going to learn a little bit about who you are, because we've got a slight introduction on your halflingness. Yeah. But tell us a little bit more about who Chives is, and not the right song.
I said it earlier, Chives' family, like many halflings, they're tavern owners. They had a tavern, different people did different things around it. But, you know, he just was never really big on the serving other people things. He was more interested in hanging out at the tables with the adventurers and hearing the stories and gambling and, you know, a little more hell-raising than most halflings should normally be. And, you know, one day he had some people came through the tavern and they said they were going off to fight some goblins, and he went, that sounds fun. And just, that was the day. Just a day to move on. So since then, he's kind of slowly moved from town to town, performing places and just trying to hear stories. He's been doing it for, I don't know, probably... He's 26, so halfling. He's probably been doing it since he was like 22. He's been doing this for about 4 years now, just moving around. Came across Vaughn not too long ago, or... Oh my god,
Valeria.
you made another V name too.
Sorry.
Valeria?
Sorry.
No, I'm never gonna get there. Oh, it's gonna take another
I
3
know.
weeks. Valeria, and then he started traveling with him, you know, or hanging out or trying to get him up and moving. He sees his true story, his true barding calling in this person, but he just needs to just start him. He just doesn't know quite how to do it yet. And these 2 new people coming in are a good way to do it.
So you think your calling is to finish his story, or at least see it to the end or something?
I think it's to tell stories, but I mean, like, a good bard calling. I mean, it's a paladin. How much better stories can you get, truly? I mean, who else has more legendary stories than a paladin? You can't find one.
Okay.
I mean, and they're rare as all can get out. You can't find them. Most bards go forever looking for one and can't find one. I'm sure not letting this one go.
Precious few paladins in the world. Okay. Do you have any problem with the paladin having sort of... Well, sorry, let me rephrase this. Were you with him when he broke his oath to do justice and instead got vengeance for himself?
I don't know. How long ago did you say, Tom?
A few months ago is when it happened, yeah. I feel like... I'm trying to think. Like, I feel
When you
like
went
I
all
must have-
vengeful?
Yeah, I feel like I must have done some pretty cool stuff for you to be tagging along to begin with. Unless unless you really feel like, wow, this guy seems really interesting, he won't tell me.
Yeah,
much
I must
about
have
his story,
beforehand.
then-
So yeah, I would have known him before.
Okay, so you were with him when he went bad or whatever, had his moment of weakness.
Yeah, I think I was around for it. I don't know if I was necessarily next to him when he did his things, but I was.
Right, but you knew
was with
him and
him,
you
yeah.
were traveling with him. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like guide you in any particular.
No.
direction.
That's I need that
Okay.
guidance. I don't.
Okay.
We gotta work on
Okay.
stuff.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to know about Chives here? What does he have any long-term goals other than story gathering, or is that like his true calling in life?
Right now, it's his true calling. I mean, he's pretty young. He's pretty headstrong. He hasn't. He's working on what he's gonna do. He's got another 100 some odd years to figure this out. He's not in a huge rush.
Okay. And what about I almost called you Vaughn. God damn it.
Valerio.
Valerio,
you.
I'm so sorry.
Valerio.
We were in the middle of talking about Valerio when we had some internet issues here. Where were we with you?
I think I was just mentioning. Oh boy, what particular part was I saying? Just basically that. I guess Ebner and Jeb coming along. It was a kind of a coincidence, and it was sort of sparked by Chives being so outward and flamboyant and fun, and kind of is finally getting him out of his funk to actually try to do some good and maybe get back on the right track. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the wrong track, depending.
Do you feel like Chives has been a good influence on you? Or a bad influence? Because you were doing well before he showed up, and it wasn't until after he showed up that you made a mistake.
No. I would say he's. Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to write that for Chives.
No,
but-
go for it. Write
Go
it one way
for
or
it,
another.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
easy.
Yeah, my intention would be that the actions that I took were part of like a character defect or something like that.
Okay.
Part of being headstrong. Like I guess my character's pretty young too, kind of like 24, 25 about. And so like, he's been doing the paladin. He was probably doing the paladin business for a few years, but like he's still kind of a young, sort of, I guess to use the Star Wars term, like a Padawan, I guess. And then he flew off the deep end in a moment of weakness. I don't think that was Chives's problem.
Right. I mean, you got one character flaw, you might have another. I don't know if you
Sure.
blame him for your mistakes or if
No, I don't think he would go that far. But yeah,
Okay.
no. I think he considers Chives to be a good friend through and through. It's just, I feel like Valerio really appreciates Chives' company. Sometimes maybe depending on how much he tries to cheer him up, how overzealous he gets in cheering him up, he might get a little bit annoyed. But it's a genuine friendship, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. And
Typical half-point.
you've sort of lost your path and your way, and your god has denied you powers. Do you feel forsaken by your deity, or do you feel like this is just that this has happened? What is your present relationship with Vilmontarius, the god of justice?
I would say I don't necessarily want to leave it to the things that happen in the future, but like at the moment, he's not necessarily too pissed off at Vilmontarius himself. But he's probably still in the process of thinking that he can redeem himself in Vilmontarius's eyes, I guess. So he hasn't completely said like F you yet, but I guess it might happen.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so there's still some connection there.
Yeah. I mean, it's more so Valerio feels like he screwed up more than Vilmontarius forsook him or something like that.
Well, that's probably the right attitude for a paladin to have, not blaming
Yeah.
other people for his misdeeds. Lovely. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's part
And-
of the reason. I'm sorry. And
No,
that's
go
part
ahead.
of the reason why he's not wearing any of the regalia, and that's because he's doing that out of sort of shame. Like, I'm not a good representative of this deity,
Right.
so
Right.
I
Shame
don't
and
want to be a
atonement.
false. Yeah. He's still trying to atone, and it's an idea of like, I would rather not represent this deity falsely if I can't live up to that. Yeah.
Got it. And last question for you here. Were there any other moments? I think this is where we were talking. Were there any other moments that you tried to redeem yourself, or is these people coming by the first moment where you've got your shit together enough to say, let's make amends?
This is really, yeah, this is probably like the first moment where it's like, oh, maybe I can actually do this. And yeah.
Okay, so for you, this is more of an opportunity to make amends for yourself than it is to actually help these people, or are you more, let's just say, is the focus of this more these people need my help and I'm going to go help them, or is it like here's an opportunity to make amends for my own thing? And I know there's a little overlap between that.
Yeah, the overlap is kind of hard, I guess, but it's genuinely, he genuinely wants to do good. Like, he's always operating from a perspective of wanting to do good first. And if that happens to redeem him, then that's great. But he's trying to help people first, and whatever way that he can do that is probably is good. But it's just that what happened before was just him being very, 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 very hot-headed and hot-blooded. So, the way that he personally goes about doing that might always be at odds with Valmontarius, but he doesn't know that yet. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Let's get back to Chives here. What are you going to do for these few days of downtime? Well, you've got these new friends, but they're not ready to leave town yet while they rest and heal up and wait for word from these nobles. What are you doing, Chives?
So we're starting off in that tavern at Jexel's. We played during the day. Hopefully the person liked my stuff, and we were in a good spot. So during that day, while we're going around, I can do a check if you want for it. If you want,
I would love a performance check.
Which one do you want? I think they're all the same, but I've got singing, dancing, musical instruments.
Whichever one is going to be the primary focus of this particular performance. I know they can all blend together, but if it's predominantly dancing with a little music, or predominantly music with a little dancing, or predominantly singing,
I think it's definitely music for sure, and then we'll also have some dancing in there too.
Okay.
Oh, my dancing is poor.
All right, so you make a good impression with your music, and you can make. They're going to charge a small cover. But like you, most people tend to avoid bars with cover. So, oh god, this is a terrible roll. You actually only end up with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 extra copper by the end of the day. And the bartender agreed to do this night thing, but afterwards, performance was great, but we lost more customers than we gained by this. So, I'll have to ask you to move on to the next time.
Well, I don't need to perform anymore, but I've got some table sitting to do, and I'll look for the gamblers still up after my performance. The people up late night gamblers.
Yes, you can definitely find gamblers here.
All right. We'll do some gambling with our late night gambling friends as well.
All right. So.
And that's what we're going to do every night, and then we're going to go up to the big tavern tomorrow, like the uppity up people.
You will do your gambling, you'll do some singing. The other two of you are selling items and playing with magical darkness and trying to figure out how all that stuff works. And Valeria, what are you doing during your week of downtime, or few days?
I guess.
I'll reach out to him when I'm going somewhere, be like, hey, I'm gonna go perform over here if you want to come sit in the corner or whatever. Like, I'll give him a heads up and give him a spot. I mean, he's a friend, if he must have something else he wants to do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Chives, but since it has been a long time since we have adventured, I feel like I should maybe get some supplies together.
Okay. Well, sounds good, my friend. Let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll head off to my way.
Yeah. And then what Valerio will do is I think he will stop by a shop and just get himself some, because he basically he's neglected, actually, staying apprised of his supplies and things like that. How much? Because so I think you started me with 20 silver. How much copper is in a silver again?
10.
I'm sorry for not knowing this. 10. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll just go to the store and just get myself a medical kit.
Okay.
If that's possible. If it's
yeah,
possible
you can
to
get
buy
a medical kit for listed prices. Did you have the price already?
I think it's 200 copper, which would be 20 silver exactly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll get myself a medical kit because having my skills, I feel like I need a medical kit at the very least.
Excellent. You can get yourself a little med kit to help out with these things.
Yeah.
And why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we will deal with the rewards that you guys have been given, and you can set off on your first adventure together.
Will we get 1 XP as well?
Excellent.
No.
Bitch.
See you guys on the set of a break. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Desperate Measures. Our party is almost ready to go. We just have a few more.
A little pattern that goes around, and then it's got a very nice tunic with the same colors, same stitching, brown pants, and then soft leather boots that come up over that.
Sure. The greeter at the door of the Golden Leaf, this very nice upper-class tavern that you're at, sees you coming and says, "Excuse me, sir. The servant's entrance is around back."
And I'll give him the correct etiquette to know that he's talking to the wrong person here. That I am coming in the front door for a reason. I'll look at him and go, well, good sir. I am, I don't know what the right etiquette to tell him to fuck off is, but hey, man, I'm not here for the back. And I'll start walking.
Excuse me?
I am here to talk to the owner of the tavern on the inside, and I am not one of the ones from the back. And I will start walking.
You are travel. Excuse me, sir? Sir!
I'll turn around. I won't like run off on him, but I'll try to push past. If he stops me, I'm not going to run from him.
He doesn't physically stop you. He just calls after you if you walk in.
I mean, I'm not going to run past him.
Yeah.
I'll look and go, I mean, so is there a problem?
This is a high-class establishment, sir. There are certain formalities to be observed here. You are a musician, are you not?
I am much more than a musician, my friend. Much, much more.
Let's see.
Many musicians come in here, they tell some songs, they sing some tales, but I provide a performance. Above all else, one that you cannot get from anyone.
Very good, sir. Would you follow me, please? And he
follow.
will lead you through the tavern, along the edges of it, so you're not blocking anyone's view or anything. And lead you kind of over to a bar adjacent area, and asks you to please wait here for one moment while I find the manager. And
Perfect.
a few minutes later, a half elf is brought before you. Where is my d6? He is a very old half elf. He's got wrinkles plenty kind of coming across his face. He's got a few little whiskers that come out, a bright green bow tie with a multicolored cloak, but otherwise, dark blue clothes on front of him.
Yeah.
And he comes over and says, "Ah, yes, you're the more than a musician?"
Very much so, my friend. I do performing acts, I dance, I sing, and as well as I do a little bit of a performance. And the performance is where you and me can be friends. Normally people come in here and they tell you I can do this, I can do that, but how many people have dancing chairs? And I'll pull out my whistle and I'll cast Unseen Servant and I'll make 2 chairs dance.
He looks over and do some of the other patrons and he says, "Oh, how very vulgar."
And I'll look at him and go, "Vulgar? You don't like elven dancing chairs?"
I don't know about elven dancing chairs, but I do know that my clientele come here for a certain level of refinement. Perhaps you would be more suited down by the sailor's cavern or the dog pile. Maybe those clientele would be interested in your parlor tricks.
Well, that's interesting you say that. They directed me to you, saying that this was the perfect place for me, that I was too good for them. So that's good. I'm glad that y'all are both in agreement here. Now, if you don't really like the magical dancing chairs, I can tell you this, though. I can do more tumbling with these dancing chairs and tumble and start doing flips between the two.
We have musicians and performers for the nights that we may want them. I do believe your services here are not required, he says with like vile disdain for your craft. You can tell that this guy, like, there is an automatic, how do you say?
Disdain?
He's looking at you like you are a blue-collar worker in like a fancy Manhattan bar, and everything about you drives him crazy. You are not the clientele. You are not the noble he wants, and he is very biased, cruelly so.
Ah, that's fine. As I go, well, that's too bad to hear. And I'll take the unseen servant as I start playing my whistle out the door, and I'll pull down his pants and I'll whistle my way on out.
Nice.
The belt kind of floop, floop, and then the pants begin to drop, and the butler, not the butler, the greeter doorman, like, goes to block his body from everyone's sight with his own.
The chair runs into his legs to knock him down while he's doing that. It gets 40 pounds of force, as much as it can do, but a chair flying into your legs, he's got to dex check it at least.
Yeah, he will. It smacks him in the knees. He starts hopping around. There's quite the commotion. All the lords and ladies look over to see what's happening.
My way out, I'll go, what a wonderful owner. Too bad you didn't have any good music, and I'll whistle my way on out then. And that's the end of him.
Yeah, you whistle your way on out. It is a
We're
hard
not done
thing.
with him, by the way.
Done with him?
No, we're not done
God.
with him.
You're going to continue the class warfare here? All right.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He insulted me and told me to go play at the worst bar here. That's, no. No.
He was cruel.
He
Yes.
was. And he's going to be light-pocketed soon. So we're going to wait till everyone gets done with this tavern and it starts shutting down as the next time I need something.
All right. The tavern will close up at a very reasonable hour. A few of the more wealthy businessmen will stay a little bit later. And somewhere after the, a couple of bells after dark comes, you can see the half-elf closing up and beginning to leave.
Good. So I'll watch him walk away from his place. Is it a 2-story or 1-story?
2-story. It's on the second floor.
Cool. Is there stairs going up from the outside or the inside?
The stairs are on the outside.
Outside?
Yes,
Okay, so I can get up to the second floor easily and then climb onto the roof. That shouldn't be too
Right.
much.
So like below is a different business or something, and then this place is up on the upper ground. Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna climb up in and I'm gonna shimmy down his chimney.
You're gonna
climb up
shimmy
onto the
down the chimney into the tavern after he's gone.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I just need to free fall the chimney, I can. I've got tumbling, and I'll just take that. I'm not gonna. It should be less than 10 feet.
Okay.
Or I'll get 10 feet and then go for it.
So you shimmy partially down the chimney. You get maybe 3 or 4 feet when your toes and feet come across what seems to be a series of rebar or something equivalent that are placed within the chimney.
He really has rebar in his chimney?
This is a very fancy bar. A lot of money exchanges hands here, and a lot of important people hang out here. This place is ready for, is equipped with anti-theft measures. Yeah, you'll have noticed that the locks on the doors are of high quality. They're not common locks. They're good locks. The windows are locked from the inside as well, but it's not like a simple latch that holds them together. It's locks above and below, set 2 or 3 inches in, so you can't really get to them from the outside.
Sure. So
you
I'm
would
gonna
still
go back
be
to
able
the front
to
door
break
then.
the windows, but yeah.
No, this is easy. So we're gonna go back up to the front door, and to one of those windows, we're gonna cast our second unseen servant inside the windows and have him open the window and let me inside.
Ooh.
I didn't want to use it yet, but if I've got to, we've got to.
Oh, where is my
You want me to click on unseen servant?
unseen servant?
I think
Okay,
it's 10
unseen
yards.
servant is a non-visible, mindless, and shapeless force used to step, fetch, open, unstuck doors, blah blah blah, hold chairs, clean. It is not strong, carries out, cannot fight, kill, All right, so the question is, do you cast it where you see, do you need line of sight or line of effect for Unseen Servant? And it's not clear here. Because you couldn't cast it through a wall, right? And glass is essentially a transparent wall, so can you cast it where you see it?
That's my question. If I stand right next to it, because it doesn't show up in my same square, or one in front of me? Because I could stand right next to the window and it would be right on the other side.
Right, because it's got a, it doesn't have a range. It has a range of 0.
It's got a range of 0, but it's an AoE of 30 feet radius.
Right, so it can move around within a 30-foot radius, but I think it flows from you. It casts, like, within your space. It's not like a physical entity, but if it's got a range of 0... that might be a typo. Let me double-check the source book, because the spells, when they got transcribed to the internet,
well, let me put it this way. If I can't, can I let it go down the chimney and just have it go in that way? I mean, I'm going to get in here somehow. We can lawyer.
Well, that's what every thief thinks, but every good proprietor tries to anti-thief things. Yeah, the range is definitely 0. So it won't cast where you are. You could cast it...
Well, knowing this, I'll cast it at the top of the chimney. I'll have it go down, which should be within 30 feet of me. I'll have it walk underneath me over to the window and let me in.
That
force
will work, because it'll go down from the chimney. It stays within 30 feet, even if you can't see it, right? It could go around corners from you. So as long as you guys
I just walk across the top, and I just go right to the front and slide down and pop right in front of him.
That should...
The components are a piece of string and a piece of wool, so I can drop those through the bars and cast them underneath that if I need to. I've got So here's
the question. I'm gonna do a little doodle for us in the Golden Sea, which is to the right of where we are on the map.
Okay.
So you've got a wall, let's say. Actually, it goes forever in this direction, just forever. You start on this end of the wall. You cast Unseen Servant, which comes back here, and then you walk this direction. At some point, the wraparound distance will exceed 30 feet, even though this will not exceed 30 feet. So it has to stay within 30 feet of you. If you close the door, does it
exceed 30 feet if you do that then? Let's say a wizard has it open the door and close it on the other side behind him and lock it. Is that still too far?
A door here, the wizard casts the spell through the door, and then the door closes. Let's call it a perfect door that seals all the way.
Yes.
Your physical distance is less than 30 feet. Your line of effect is greater than 30 feet. Ooh. This is some lawyery zones. I'm willing to hear from other players.
But it says radius, so that makes me think that it can go around. I mean, it's an unseen servant for a wizard, right? It's supposed to be able to like clean, mend, do things. Like, you need a book around the corner. All of a sudden, is it too far if it goes in the library for you? Like,
okay, so similar question. Let's say you have a darkness stone right here. You open the door, darkness flows through. This distance is great. You know, the wraparound distance is greater than the darkness spell would allow. You close the door. Does the darkness shine through?
I think so. Yeah, I think it would go through.
All right, what if you cast darkness spell and the door is closed already, and it's
I don't think the darkness goes under.
But... So the darkness won't slip through the door until you open the door, and then if you close the door, does it close the darkness as well?
I would assume so, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Neil. If I go stand on top of the chimney, I have to go open the door, and then I walk or open the window. I'm within 30 feet then, right? So then even if it disappears, the window's still open?
Ah, okay. So yeah, so we would just need to know the distance between the chimney and the door at that point.
The chimney and the window, which should be less than 30 feet?
The chimney and the window, right. Which could easily be less than 30 feet. I have no idea. I don't have a pre-planned map, and I would have to make a decision about that right now. So I'm going to use some dice, because otherwise I'm, either intentionally giving it to you or intentionally restricting it from you. So... let's say the bar is 40 feet across, and then the chimney is going to be on the fireplace is going to be against a wall, probably not in the middle, so it could be against one of 4 walls, and I think only one of the walls.
2, right? It'd be one of the short walls.
I mean, it could be the tavern could be like a square, or it could be a rectangle.
It could be one of the walls. I assumed rectangle, but...
Right, it could be any one of the walls. Your entrance is this side, and if this is 40 feet across, so we'll give you a 3 out of 4 chance that the that the chimney is near enough to the window. So give me a D4. Do not roll a 4. So it's a 75% chance. All right, yeah,
Cool.
you can do it. Woo! There we
Sweet.
go.
Awesome. So I open the window, I climb on inside of his tavern, and I close the window behind me, and I lock it up so it looks just how it was.
Open unstuck windows. Yeah, this is not a stuck window.
No.
This is a locked window, but you can undo the lock on it because it's not a key lock. It's just a sliding bolt lock.
Right. That's why I didn't do the doors, because the windows
Right.
should be...
Right, they're
Inside
just
lock.
like sliding bolts. Okay, so yeah, you can boop, boop, open it.
I'll climb on inside, and I will
Okay.
close it back up. Do I still have
Yep.
my unseen servant, or are we...
Yep. It'll last
Okay.
for an hour plus a turn per level.
Awesome. So that's going to be for the rest of this time. So we're going to go around his place, and we're going to start behind the bar and start casing the joint. And we're going to start seeing what he's got in here.
Well, it is a high-class tavern, so you're going to have lots of nice glassware, lots of nice flatware. It's not actually made of silver, but, it's made of copper or iron in nice shapes. Probably copper. Iron's pretty expensive in this area. Let's see. You're going to have, of course,
We're
the
looking for
various types
coinage,
of
anything with
liquor.
gem.
Let's see. They keep their money. It's a nice place. They don't just. They will keep their money in a box. At the end of the day, you take the money and you either take it home with you or you put it in a safe. So there's going to be a safe somewhere here because the daily box will be emptied.
Right. And I just want to confirm that the daily box was all the way emptied. He didn't leave some change in there just because he's lazy. He didn't leave some level of silver behind the bar. And
No,
just-
yeah, you can find the daily box. It doesn't even have a lock on it. It's just it's
just an open
it's
chest.
just like a little wooden box that opens up, and instead of being filled with dice, it's filled with coins.
Cool. So it's empty, and then I start looking around for an office or some other back room, some place that would probably be locked. Or
You'll
where
find a
you'd-
kitchen, and you'll find a storeroom that has a what do you call it? A trap door underneath of it that is bolted from inside. And there's a rope that hangs that you could open the trap door, and it looks like the rope would dangle down, so you can hoist stuff up into here. And then there will be a small records room or office type space attached to all of this as well.
So I'm gonna go to the small office type space and start looking through his stuff.
You find the door locked on the office.
All right. So now here's my question. So
Yeah.
I don't have pick locks, and do I, as a bard, I only get pickpockets? This is a question I asked you in the past, and we said no.
I might have missed it.
But
Yeah, whatever the bard 2e raw rules are.
so I have pickpockets, but I don't get pick locks then.
If that's what the 2e raw says, then that's what it
That's
is.
what you're gonna give me.
Yep.
I can't do a stuck door. It's locked. Unseen servant. All right. Well, realizing I got a locked door, I can't do too much about this at this time.
Not yet.
No, not yet. This is a problem, but it's a problem for the future. So I'm gonna go back up to the front of his place, and I'm gonna get all of his glasses, and I'm gonna lay them all by his front door. So if he opens his door, he's gonna knock over all of his glassware and have to break it.
So you make a tower of glassware?
Yeah, I do. I have tower glassware right next to his door.
Wow. All right.
And then we're
Okay.
gonna steal his flatware, and then we're out. And then we'll open up the window. We'll unseen servant it behind us to lock it back
You
up.
steal the knives and forks and spoons?
Yeah, we do. And we're not
Okay.
done with them yet, though.
Okay, so how many pounds of knives and forks and spoons do you want?
I'm at
'Cause
my
that
base
shit
weight
adds
right
up.
now because I left my tent, my bag, and all the stuff would be
Mhm.
inside of my room. I wouldn't bring that, so I have 13 pounds that I can carry. So I
All
want
right.
about 12 pounds worth.
You gather 12 pounds worth of flatware.
If he's got a bag, I want to put in a bag in here too. I want to take his bags.
Yeah, you can in the storeroom. You can find a bag that was used to bring in turnips.
Perfect.
And,
I put it all in the
yeah.
bag. I climb out the window. I lock it up, and I head towards the harbor.
Excellent. You can find a way to get over to the cliff that looks over the Grand Canal.
I toss the bag in, and I look up, and I say, not Verasi, but what's the other one?
Velmontarius?
Not
God of
Velmontarius.
Justice?
No, I need vengeance.
Velthara?
Velthara is
Velthara, I
vengeance.
go, Velthara, look, I know my paladin's been having some problems, and hopefully this will help out. That elf's a dick. And I throw the stuff in, and I head back over to the tavern. I head home.
Oh, I love it. Fight the power. Fight the oppressive upper class. Well done. All right.
Being a
You
dick.
make him
That's all I
pay
have to
for
do is not be a
he's-
dick.
Yeah, he was a dick. No questions about it. He will question that in the future. All right.
He will be very confused tomorrow morning.
I don't even... What do you do when you wake up, when you come into your establishment and there's like, you break everything and all of your knives and forks and spoons are missing? I mean, clearly he's like, that fucking halfling from yesterday probably did it. Here, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe he's got another debt. I don't know. I have no
Because
idea
he had
how
other people who've got problems with him. I mean,
he
I
could
came
have a
in.
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Must be completely
It might be
mystified
some
at
of his
some level.
competition.
Yeah, you never know.
It might be. Or it
Someone
could be
could've been
people
picked.
who came to rob. It could just be pranksters. It could be any number of people who have done this.
It could have been.
So,
And there's no evidence, so it's the best part.
well, yeah, they don't typically rely on evidence in this day and age. Whatever they feel is right is right. It's a terrible time. But that doesn't matter. You guys are
If it
leaving
comes out
town.
in charisma check, I'm down.
You guys are leaving town pretty soon. Let's flip over to the party going to get their stuff identified. The two of you, can head back to the castle and can be brought in to see the wizard one more time. Right. She, Archmage May, will see you and bring in your gear with you. Ah! It's lovely to see you again, boys.
Hello,
hold on.
Archmage.
I'm sorry. And she walks over and touches Jebediah on the forehead and casts a spell, allowing him to speak as well. I'm sorry about that, young man. Now.
Oh, it's quite all right, Archmage.
Lovely. Lovely. So there's good news and there's bad news. How would you like it?
Give me the bad news first.
This spear, she says, holding it before you, is a totem of great importance to hobgoblins everywhere. It is, let's see, an artifact is such a strong word, but to them, it is an item of great significance and importance. This spear brings them light and fire, and when wielded in the hands of a right user who knows how to use it, will ignite itself with flame.
Well, I mean, you were talking about a fire trap. I guess that's some sort of trap of fire, if you will.
Yes. So the problem is that if you hold on to this one day, and that day may come soon or may come very, very late, you will find yourself the object of hobgoblin aggression, and they will probably come for it and come for you and attempt to take it back. It's very important.
Is it any use to me now, or?
Oh yes, quite useful.
What is it?
Well,
So
that's
if I-
the good news. It's a fabulous weapon.
Well, tell me the good news then about it.
Oh, it's how does one say this?
How much better does it stab on a scale of 1 to 10 than this here old spear?
Well, I say it gives you 10 percentage points to your attack and damage effects.
Mhm.
If you were to try and find a way to give these percentage points,
A 0.8?
1.
10 percentage points, it would be what is that? You
plus
know,
2?
2 out of 20.
Oh,
A 1. Oh, wow.
that's pretty good. But if a hobgoblin
Yes.
sees me have it, I'm gonna have to,
Oh, they're probably looking for it right now. I expect somewhere there is a series of hobgoblins holding a wizard captive, attempting to get them to divine the location of this, or maybe they have a cleric of their own who is happy to find it. Make no mistake, they will come for you one day. And the longer it takes them, that means the more powerful they have become.
So it's like a time bomb.
I don't know what that is, but certainly.
Is there any fire damage if I were to use this as well, or no?
Ooh, well, the effect of creating fire is an interesting one. It might be racially bound to only ignite within the hands of a hobgoblin, or perhaps there is a keyword associated with it. My studies have not revealed how to give it flame, but it will burst into flame when wielded properly. Did the necromancer turn it to fire?
They did not.
No.
That's a shame.
He
What
didn't
if
really
I-
use it at all, did he? He just
didn't.
kind of hit the pillar with it.
Nah, he got one person with it.
What if I were to, by example, what if I were to give one of these back? What if I were to give it back to the hobgoblin, seek them out, and give it back?
Oh.
Do you think they would be aggressive? I've never dealt with a hobgoblin.
Oh, that's a wonderful question.
Or would I be a hero?
Oh, depends on the hobgoblin and the particulars of the interaction, but I think if you play your cards right, you could be seen as a savior or a hero
They could tell
or
legends
a
about
doer
me.
of deeds. How do we imagine if your king was returned to you by a pack of hobgoblins? How would you view them?
They would be heroes.
But what if they brought the king back and said, we'll only give him to you if you give us money?
They would be brigands.
Right. So,
But if they brought the king back and I gave it to him, or if they brought the king back and gave it to me, I would surely reward them as long as they didn't ask for a reward.
perhaps, yes, but you're a dwarf. You have a different code of honor than the hobgoblins, also called hobbygobbies.
Well, maybe I could convert a few hobbygobbies to tempos, but we'll see.
Perhaps. It's a difficult situation, but
Hobgoblins.
hobbygobbies, yes, that's a shorthand that we wizards use to refer to them. You've got the gobbos, the hobbygobbies, and they just call them bugbears.
I feel like hobgoblin is still shorter than hobbygobby.
Nonsense.
Nonsense there, Jet.
But
Hobgoblin? Hobbygobby. You save yourself a whole syllable.
Jeb, you don't want to argue.
Trust me, young man. I am well
hobby-
read.
okay.
You
Hobby?
can't even read, okay?
Gobby.
Hobbygobby.
Hobbygobby.
Okay.
Archmage, what about the cape?
It's a protective cloak. Yes, you wear it and it keeps you safe from harm. It's a very powerful item, very useful. You can just add it as an accessory wherever you need for that little bit of extra protection that can be worn. But you can't really alter it, you know. If you try and let it out or take it in a little bit, it won't work. So, it's sized for people of the same height as the necromancer, she says, trying to politely tell you that you're too short to use it.
Yeah.
It'll
Well,
just like
that sounds-
drag on the floor behind you and it'd be a mess.
That sounds fine. Awesome. Well, did His Highness the King have anything to say about my dead friend's request?
Yes, he did. He said that if what you say is true, and I scryed upon the city and I have seen what you have said, that you would be more than welcome to resettle your people anywhere you would like within the Kingdom of Eridon, or at least what it stands as today, this small section in the northwest, provided that they all take a simple loyalty oath to ensure that they are not minions of a semi-enemy state, of a non-allied state who is seen to be antagonizing. But the individual people are different from the state, and His Highness understands that.
He is truly wise. Well,
Yes,
He's truly generous too.
Well,
that sounds
he's all
perfect.
right. Usually pretty good, but our last leader was a little better.
Who were they?
She says with fondness. Our former leader was struck down in the night by an assassin who murdered them. Count Albrin Dropper. That was before everything fell apart. He would have become King Albin Dropper after the fall of Eridon, the other fall of Eridon, but no. Our new king is
Well, he's your king, and that's the way it is.
Exactly.
Well, if you care to, tell him I said thank you, and we'll be getting out of your hair from now on.
Let me give you the thanks of a grateful people for the rescuing of Meadstead and the, helping everyone out.
Yep. If I ever meet the Hobbo Gobbos, I'll be sure to come back and tell you what I either I killed them or
Gobbies.
Oh, Hobby Gobbies. Sorry,
Hobby Gobbies, not Hobbo Gobbos. It's weird.
wouldn't make sense. Yes,
Oh,
true.
yeah. Yes. Would you know where you would like to resettle your people? We have the towns of Bluecliff, Confluence, and here in High Castle, in addition to the myriad little villages scattered about. Or you could create your own village.
What about Kneecap?
Oh, well, that's no longer part of our jurisdiction. The people of Kneecap are on their own.
Well then, maybe Meadstead, and we'll go clear out the rest.
Oh, yes.
If that sounds fine with you, or maybe I'll ask the Baron of Confluence what he thinks.
Right. Well, if you can live there, then you are welcome to settle there. Just bring them through High Castle so they can take a mass loyalty oath, and then they're fine.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Yes, thank you greatly.
We'll move them through here, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Right. Excellent. Well, as you say, may the gods be with you, young boys, on your journey, and do your best not to get yourselves hurt. The world needs useful people. People who are willing to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of others.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Good day.
Good day.
And you guys can exit, and you can find your other friends back at the tavern. And the party is gathered for the first time together, ready to set out and do what?
I think it's time we stop by Kneecap. There, on our way down to Tassel.
Do you want to do that? I thought we were bringing these two, and I'll point to them, to Meadstead to clear it out. And then we...
Oh, yeah. I forgot the order of operations there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go to Meadstead, we'll go through Confluence, and we'll go clear out Meadstead, and then... Sounds like our people are mighty good to come up.
Mighty good indeed.
Did your meeting go well?
Oh, it went excellent.
Yeah,
well, good.
King was... Sorry,
Oh, wait, I
the
can't.
Archmage was happy to see us.
Hold on.
You secured a home for your people?
It was good.
Excellent news.
We're now realizing that Connor doesn't speak Eridonian, and the other two, the Eridonian members of the party, don't speak Mystrian.
Don't worry, I've got this.
Okay, you got this?
I've got this, Neil.
Okay.
I wouldn't speak Mystrian? Okay.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will remove that.
Oh, we love it.
Oh, this will be fun. Okay,
That's
Connor,
not bad.
I trust you, Connor. You can do this.
It'll be fun.
I'll look at him and just give him a thumbs up and go, let's go. Because he's learning the language, right? Like, he should get some words.
I think that's what he's going to do for us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Simple. I just take what you say and make it what I want to hear.
And then sometimes I just lie to you and tell you other things, but yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we'll start heading over to Meadstaff. I think that's our next goal, is to go and clear that out.
Yep.
All right. So you want to go and grind zombies into dust.
It didn't sound like there was a whole lot, but yeah, let's go grind a little bit, Neil.
All right.
We got to clear out the village. Who else is going to do it? Or even, like, if we stop in Confluence, we can just make it real quick. I can ask, hey, like, we just stopped in High Castle. Do you mind sending over some soldiers with us? Clear out Meadstead, and then... I don't know if he'd be willing, but...
I mean, let's just go knock out the zombies. How many? It's just zombies left, right? What they're looking
Sounds
at.
like a zombie skeleton.
They're going to be skeletons, too. There'll be a bunch of archer skeletons and God knows how many zombies throughout this place.
Do you want to get the Confluence guy to help us, and then we can just hand wave it, ish, or no?
Okay, so without actually going and fighting 100 zombies, how do you clear hundreds or 800, because I can't really tell you how many, zombies from a town. Like they're
Is
all
it just
sort
us?
of
Or
I've got it. No, right
do we
here.
have the people?
Well, let's discuss it as characters.
Uh,
How do you kill hundreds of these things?
So,
Okay,
Chives
declare a
speaks up
heroic
about
fray.
this. Well, my friends, it says that y'all kind of sounded like zombies are very slow usually, unless y'all get some real freaky ones up there. They're real slow, right?
Sure.
We should be able to basically outrun them forever on the back of a horse, no? Because what I could do, I can make a little horse appear. I could bring all the zombies out of town and slowly group them up. And we just walk them away somewhere else till we slowly kill them. Shoot them with arrows, hit them with rocks, hit them with stones, walk them underneath the cliff, pour a bunch of boulders on them. We can find an excuse. We can find an easy way to mass kill them. We just kind of round them up, put them in a blob, and AoE them.
Maybe. I was thinking maybe I could just turn undead and they'd stay away from me and you guys could kind of pick them off.
Oh, that too.
Just do
I'll
that
just-
continuously forever.
That or go walk them in a big pit or something. I didn't know. We
Yeah.
could find
Corner
a
by-
place to put them.
Corner by corner, we could turn them into a big pit. I think that there's like a lot of ways. Like I guess we could do it. I guess the best way that would be that way, or just
Caught them into a big pit and just drop rocks on them.
like that. I don't know if that would 100% work because I don't think turn undead will throw them in the pit. But I think probably just turn undead them, Neil, and then they would stay away from me. My allies would go hit them, walk a little bit back, hit them again, walk a little bit back. And I think we could just clear out each section that way, like continuously forever.
Okay.
Magic missiles, sling stones.
Okay.
Don't shoot the horses.
So,
I mean, do you
You ride them.
so if we can hand wave this, it's worth
Yeah.
0 experience.
Can it be worth
Because
one
then you're
experience?
not. It can be worth 0 experience because
Okay,
you're
then
not
let's
actually
do it,
threatened.
Neil.
Yeah.
I'm
So
ready.
that's the thing. So otherwise, we'll play it out for experience, which will be a long bout of combat, or it'll be hand waveable with 0 XP. And if we play it out and you were still never actually threatened at all, it's still worth 0 XP. Like you could go and if you have a chamber filled with kobolds who are unarmed, like thousands of kobolds, and then you just like cloud kill them, it's 0
But zombies
XP
are
because
always threatening, right?
well, if there's a zombie on another side of like bars and it can't reach you and you kill it, the zombie, you were never in danger. So the zombie doesn't provide experience. Experience comes from life-threatening situations, which is why so in a certain sense, like if something is too easy, it's not even worth XP.
Okay. Would
so-
us clearing the town and then having our people come over, that's finishing our people off?
Oh,
and
that's
we're getting
quest experience right
Yes,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is even clearing the town quest experience, like hand waving that, or no?
No. If it can be
Okay.
hand waved, it can't be worth anything.
Are you guys cool with hand waving the town and then we bring
Yeah.
our people over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
totally cool with that.
There are better things that we could spend our time on.
Are we?
Yeah.
along
Still-
with
Zombies, yeah.
Are we still going to be able to like find the wizard or the necromancer's thing and see if he has anything in the town? Is that fine?
Yeah, let's just take a look here. So if you're going to be killing them with missile weapons, you'll probably need to refill some arrows at some point. Stones you can find for free. Magic missiles are essentially free. So let's deduct, I don't know, someone drop a gold for resources, and then we'll pass like 5 days, and we'll say you slowly whittle the like rogue zombies down, because it should be pretty easy
Okay.
at this point, because they're just sort of aimlessly wandering. So you find one, you shoot it down. You find the next one, you shoot it down. It's not really.
And you said there
a
are skeleton
threat.
archers, and I can just use the ammo that they have to take them down.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of slowly skip ahead. You will find that at some point there are other people doing
Still alive?
similar things. No, not so live. You won't be the only ones trying to whittle this group down. There will be another group of mounted soldiers led by a knight who are just like using the zombies for target practice to train some people. It seems that now that the town and the necromancer is gone and word has spread of this, because it's been a few days in High Castle,
Yep.
People are interested in fixing the town up.
I'm interested in getting the good shit, Neil.
I hear ya.
Okay.
Right, so this is
Edna,
High
what about
Castle.
the necromancer's actual hideout?
That's what we're looking for this whole time. Every little bit that we're not killing zombies, we're trying to find his horde.
Chives is down. He's down to pour through some people's stuff.
Honestly, I would say that I'd rather find the horde than I would be to kill the zombie. There's other people doing that.
I mean, it's fair. We did do the heavy lifting.
Yes.
I know the keep's kind of a mess from all the stuff you threw down there. There's just shit everywhere. Seems like y'all broke every bed, every table, every chair in there. What did y'all do?
Thousands of zombies dead.
It looks like a great battle was fought here.
Indeed. It smells horrible.
It does. So many dead bodies just rotting in the sun.
Smell of
Okay.
wounded.
So, we're going to end up skipping sort of like a week and change here as you guys finish clearing up this area, getting back to Meadstead, all these details. And then you're finally able to go into the town and look for a necromancer's lair of sorts.
Yeah, or even, sure there were some noble people who used to live here, and they're gone,
Yes.
so I would like their money too.
Oh, remember we went into the keep.
Yeah, we didn't search it really though.
Right. So what would you like to start with?
The keep.
All right. You can go to the keep and you can give it a nice good searching now. Let me go browse through my keep maps. But I should bring us back to a
Can't wait to be lord of this town. Excited.
Here you are in Meadstead. Let me take a look at our keep. Okay. It's for the time.
If a paladin had powers, does detect evil only work on a specific person that's living that we can see in front of us?
It detects
Or-
any source of evil. Usually humans and humanoids, like levelable creatures, won't radiate evil until they hit a certain level. So like even an evil person might not radiate evil unless they're like a 9th level evil person or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like a monster that is clearly evil, like a beholder or a
Right.
baby dragon or whatever, would always radiate evil. And goblins might radiate a small amount of evil since they're sort of by nature evil.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So that's that floor. That floor.
Whenever I find the necromancer's corpse, I would like to do speak with dead as well.
On the necromancer's corpse?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Speak with dead. You can find the corpse real fast, page 271. Let's hope you have enough time to do this within. There are limits on speak with
Yeah.
dead. 271. Speak with dead. What level are you?
Level 5 now?
Ah,
Just missed it.
just missed it. They could only have been dead for up to a week, and it's been like
Sorry.
a week and a half.
It goes off, nothing
Oh.
happens.
That would have been interesting.
So the keep is devoid of necromancer loot. It's just the body that you left here, plus the bodies of your 2 friends that are well rotted by now.
Yep.
I would like to look for the books and like for any language I can't read.
Sure,
So I
yeah,
can-
you can start perusing for books.
I'm specifically looking for stuff I don't know how to read, and it looks like it's elven or magical. If it's not one of those, I'm not super interested.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm after.
Okay.
I'm looking for spell books, basically.
Yeah.
Wizard of the shorts.
What are you guys doing with the bodies of Vaughn and Joka?
We'll just bury him in town somewhere.
Anywhere in
they said
particular?
Outside of town where we last slayed like the Wraith or whatever, where we last like held camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that was like an hour or so away.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe they're dead.
I mean, like, there's a graveyard in town. Do you want to put them in the graveyard, or do you want to put them in a special, different spot?
You want him in the graveyard, Jim?
I think they'd want to be with the people whose homes they help save.
All right.
Yeah, I'd chime in as well. And I'll just say, yeah, like, these heroes deserve to be remembered in a special place. It seems like they give up a lot of, they gave their lives for this place.
Typhoid peek up from underneath and go, "This guy's diary is so juicy, guys. You got to get down here." then he'll go back downstairs as they're discussing the bodies.
Yeah, we'll bury him in town.
Evan, did he just say that guy's juicy?
Yeah, he said he got a big butt.
Chives is too far. He's back inside the guy's journal again, going through it.
What sort of person did we pick up who's thinking
real
dead people are
pervert.
juicy?
All right. The keep is surprisingly devoid of valuables, which sort of resonates with what you did before, because you trashed this place in an attempt to like rest and everything here. And you don't find anything of value here at all. So you gotta search the rest of the town.
Yep.
Where would you like to go next?
Where the necromancer put his stuff.
Yeah, but where do you look?
I'll ask Jeb. Jeb, where do you think his shit is?
Well, if I could be of little help, if I remember this place from my mind a while ago, I think the nicer houses were that away. Maybe we start that direction. And I have local history, Neil, so can I just know where the nice houses are? Can we go over that
I
one?
mean, you'll be able to identify them by walking through the town pretty easily. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I want to go like straight to them. I don't want to waste any time.
Sure. How old are you,
And-
halfling?
I am 26.
26?
What?
Yeah, if you're a well-traveled halfling from this area, did you figure out where you're from, by the way?
I said I was from here somewhere. I said Eridon. I said somewhere north. I didn't pick a city up here yet.
Okay, so yeah, you could have traveled through here before and know the place fairly well then. Yeah, you
And I
can
want to
head
start with
right
the
to
richest
it.
person I can remember and move to the less rich person. I want to start at the nicest of the nice and work our way down.
When you open the first door into the wealthy person's house, you can smell the scent of death and decay in here. There are a pair of already dead zombies here that look like they've been dead since before all of this went down. Like, they died a while ago, and no one bothered to clean up the corpses. Maybe they died breaking into this house, but you can see that the locks on the doors themselves have been battered down and forced open. The place doesn't look ransacked, but you can see that like the kitchen has had its valuables stripped from it. The actual silverware is gone. The glasses are there, but the nice silverware is gone, and the nice silver serving bowls and trays are gone. You can see that all the doors that would have been locked have been broken down with brute force. You'll find fingernails still stuck in the doors, so it looks like maybe torn down by zombies or whatnot. And you will go from house to house and see that there has been a concerted effort to clean this place out at some point in time. And you've just finished slaying the zombies that have been around here, so it's not really plausible that this is a recent development, especially because it looks like the zombies were used to break down doors everywhere. What do we say?
Maybe this means if we find the necromancer's lair, we find where all this stuff went. Or it means we shouldn't have waited the week to go searching.
If we wait for tomorrow, I can locate object. What do you think the necromancer would have? Jewels?
Spellbook?
Well, this might be a little.
Zip was always talking about his spellbook.
I don't know what type of spellbook. I don't think I can just say I want to locate a spellbook, because I wouldn't know exactly what's inside. But I think if I said I wanted to locate, if I was looking for like a hoard of gold or something along those lines, I think I might be able to find that.
Well, what would a necromancer carry on him all the time? What's something they definitely have? I mean,
Would he not carry a grimoire with him? I believe.
yeah.
He would likely carry something of very evil
It's a grimoire.
machination.
Spellbook.
Oh. I mean, yeah, I could try for that. I just need to wait the night and rememorize.
Well, is there any other houses? I mean, he had to have a place to make all these zombies. He had to have an altar. He had to be somewhere. There's a large space.
Maybe
he
the
was using.
church.
The
There's
church?
a temple or something nearby.
Well, what
Maybe
are
in
the other large
catacombs.
buildings?
Is there a big church or anything, or a big temple?
There are a couple temples in town. Yeah, there will. Yeah, you can
Can we
find
visit
one.
those and see
Yeah.
if they have like a catacomb or something under?
Let's see. The first temple that you go into is abandoned, but unmarked or unmarred. Like, people just aren't here. There's nothing broken. Maybe like one door is broken down, but otherwise the place is fine. The second temple in town that you visit has quite the stench to it. There are long, bloody trails that lead in and out of this temple. Stains across the floor. Statues have been pulled down and broken of all the gods, except for the goddess of death. The other ones are all torn down and ruined. You can find the back room of where the clerics might have lived and worshipped and did their practice and had their rooms, which have been modified. The beds where clerics and priests and acolytes and the workers of the temple would have lived are modified with leather straps attached to the top and bottom, like you might bind feet or hands with. The blankets have been stripped from these places and are no longer here. The beds themselves smell of death and have plenty of colorful stains across them.
I'll say, I'll take the time, like 10 minutes or something, to say like a massive prayer over the whole temple and do that before we continue searching on.
Yeah, there is a staircase leading down into catacombs. There's an upstairs graveyard too, like a normal outside graveyard for most regular people. And then there's like the church graveyard, the catacomb graveyard for the people of more importance.
The more he's seeing here, the more Valerio is sort of gripping his sword and gritting his teeth. He's super, super angry to be seeing all of this nasty stuff going on here.
Continue to push on, I think.
You can head down into the catacombs, and the first thing is the sounds of movement. There is something down there, stepping, walking. Things, plural.
I'm ready, Neil, for the battle. Actually, I take the time to cast invisibility on the from the undead on all of us.
Oh.
Do you have 4 of them memorized?
I do. You can check this chat.
Excellent. Well, that means you only have 2 minutes to move, since they each take a minute to cast, and it only lasts for 6 minutes.
It's fine. We got 2 minutes.
Before he starts casting all this, Chives would like to pull everyone out and say, "Hold on, guys. Before we go down there, I wanna tell y'all some things." And I'll put everybody kind of in a little circle outside, and Chives is gonna sing a song about the death and decay he's seen. He's gonna tell them about how the crazy skeletons, how they attack, the ways that they come in to hit you. He talks about the zombies, on how slow they are and how dumb they come to bite you. He speaks of the undead and all of their unholiness and how to avoid being hit by them. And he does this for 3 rounds. So everyone gets 1 to their AC if we fight undead.
Okay.
Awesome.
Ooh, is this a bard ability?
It is. It's Bardic Inspiration, or the 2E equivalent.
What is it? Ooh, we use so few bards here. What's it called?
I've got it on my page. Just a second. It is called Bard. What is this? What is it under? Bard Storytelling. The music, poetry, and stories of the bard can be inspirational, rallying friends and allies. The exact nature of the impending threat is known. The bard can heroically inspire his companions with +1 to attack, 1 to saving throws, or 2 to morale. Oh, I'm sorry. You get 1 to saving throw. Oh, do 1 to attack then. I'm sorry. You all get 1 to attack. I thought I could give you AC. I guess I can't.
Those involved in melee, the bard must spend 3 full rounds singing or reciting the words before the battle begins. Affects all within 10 feet per experience level of the bard. Lasts for 1 round per level. Once it wears off, it can't be renewed if the recipients are still in battle. However, troops have withdrawn can be re-inspired, blah, 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 blah. Perfect. And you know the exact nature of the threat. It is the undead. That is perfect.
Exactly which one? Don't know, but we can cover
I
most
think,
of them.
The sort of zombies and skeletons you've been fighting is an exact enough nature. If it turns out it's like, an undead beholder, it probably won't apply, but that would be pretty crazy pants.
2 things, Neil. 1, I don't understand pretty much most of this. I do hear the music. Don't really understand it. Are you saying this is a magical sort of effect and I get it anyway, or would I?
It is. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because he's got to inspire you.
Yeah.
So
the music's nice and whatnot.
You'd have to
Right.
understand it.
Ooh.
He might not get it, but the other two do.
Pass me a saving throw versus spell to take it, since you're sort of you only semi understand.
Sure.
That's a great question, Connor.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
All right.
Oh.
17.
Oh, I think those saves need to be updated. Those are definitely outdated
There's no
saves.
way.
I asked you if I updated saves at level 4, and like, no.
They should have updated at level 3.
Pretty
Versus
sure I did.
spell, you're a 17? There's no way.
That's first level fighter saves. You're level 4. Yeah, it
Oh,
should be
I didn't update
16.
them.
There we
Oops.
go. That's fine.
One better.
I'll update them later when I'm level 5.
Yeah. There we go, because that'll make a real difference when you hit 5. All right, so everyone's inspired. The spells are cast upon the party.
I'm not
Invisible
inspired.
undead. Right.
I just heard
everyone
some,
but Jen.
I just heard some good music. And then my second thing is I'm going to hang my backpack up on like just some sort of debris that's just like hanging down. So hang it up before we go down there, because the shit's heavy.
Right. Okay.
It's not lit down there, right? I pull out my ring then?
It is dark down there. That's
I pull
correct.
out my ring, yeah.
You pull out your ring, the light shines, and you hear gasps and cries from down below, like just a very quick, and then silence, and the movement stops.
Okay, invisibility then dead, and we go down.
All right, you guys progress down. The staircase goes straight down into a long corridor, but there is a door right on the right, or not really a door, it's more of like an entryway that has had bars recently added to it. It looks like the catacombs have become a makeshift jail cell of sorts. And peering through the bars, you can see at the edge of your light radius, emaciated people staring back at you.
I will ask, is there anyone else down here with you?
A
Any
shaky
evil
voice
people?
calls out, "Who are you?"
I'm Ebner the cleric, and I'm here to save you.
Give me a charisma check.
It's not my strong suit, Neil,
I know.
but here we go.
Do it.
Good night.
Ooh. They hesitate, not sure if you can be trusted or not.
I talk, I chime up, I go, my name is Valerio, we are here to help you.
Whoa. The paladin, the man who once spoke for the gods, who has saved many a people. I'm just assuming that you've helped people in the past. You're 4th level, so you've got to, right?
Tried. Yeah.
Give me a charisma check.
Let me drop my 17 charisma here.
There we go.
Blam!
Yeah. One of the people steps forward and says, Valerio, the traveling paladin?
Chives will roll in front of him. Of course, and his traveling bard Chives, and he'll play a chord.
What has happened to you? What is your name?
The man replies, Bran. My name is Bran.
Bran.
Neil,
How many
are these
others
cages?
of you are there?
Can we open the doors or like try to when they're talking?
It's a stone, because the catacombs are carved into like a rocky area, and then it looks like someone has installed a jail cage here with a door on it.
Is there a key? Or
You don't see a key anywhere nearby.
Can I just magic missile the lock, or is that a no? Do you have to magic
does no.
missile? Nope.
You cannot magic missile the lock. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's good for future reference. You never know.
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
yes, it'd have been good later.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Wouldn't need that knock spell.
No, sure wouldn't.
So
Valerio
considering
just-
there's no more, there's no fighting, I'm gonna go upstairs, grab my pack, and then come down, because I have a key to the city. I'm gonna grab my crowbar and start working on getting everyone out.
All right. You get the crowbar and you start working on it as Bran tells you that about a few weeks ago? I don't know, it's been dark. Many weeks, maybe a month ago, we were all rounded up and brought down here, stuffed into these catacombs. The necromancer he would take some of us and take us away. We never saw them again. And then one day he stopped showing up.
How many are left of you?
Yeah, how many are there?
He shudders to himself. I don't know. We don't talk anymore. Not after the food ran out.
How long did they run out? How long did it run out for?
Moment the
long since
necromancer stopped showing up.
Hey, look around.
We've
Is there
been
anybody else in the
even know
cell,
the-
or is it just him?
You can see a few more people starting to like creep towards the edge of your continual light, but this is like a long hallway
Yeah.
with graves
Yeah,
on
that's a
either
lot.
side, and then it probably twists and turns into like a larger underground complex.
They probably have no idea how long they've been down here for either.
Well,
They've been in
Chives,
pitch
realizing
black.
he's not helping down here with any of this, is going to go head up and start looking for food in the town. If there's any of the houses left to keep, he's going to start trying to at least
You-
find where it is.
Yeah, I mean, some of the food in the town will keep for a long time. Mostly you're going to find like milled flour that is useful. The bread, which is still around, is stale. But I guess I would eat week-old food, a couple week stale bread if I've been, without
Yeah.
food.
For sure. So he's going to
Yeah.
start doing that while they're working on the people down there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Did anyone else have any other questions while we
I
crowbar
guess,
the
like-
gate?
Yeah, I guess I asked Bran. I said, is anyone like mortally injured, or is there anyone that is actively like? Do you have an emergency like right now? Is there someone who is close to death, or how?
No, there are no
are
injured
you?
people.
Okay, we will try to get you out as soon as possible then.
Yeah, nods and steps back away from the light, sort of turning his gaze. He's been in darkness for weeks, and this light
Sure.
is too bright for him. Between the four of you, plus these people on the inside, there's no pressure, lots of time. You guys will eventually be able to crowbar the gate open, or crowbar the lock apart enough to get inside. It might take a few hours, but you can do it. And one by one, they will trickle out of this catacomb and trickle up to the upstairs of the temple.
Probably want to hold them back from going outside, I would imagine, so that they don't get blinded immediately. If they haven't been already, I don't know. I don't know what we do.
I think we just
What
let
do
them
you
go
think?
and do their thing.
Edna, we
go
should
do
take
their
them to
thing.
the intact temple. I don't think they should be exposing themselves too much to the mayhem upstairs.
No, they're not gonna stay here. Yeah, we'll take them to the temple. We'll take them to the temple, I guess. First, I asked like whoever first came and talked to us.
Bran.
Bran, you wouldn't have any idea where the necromancer held up.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mhm.
Where?
In the catacombs.
Can you
You
show?
go deeper in. Deeper in. That's where he worked his things.
The city's been pretty much cleared out, if not entirely cleared out by now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
Okay.
say you know where
Wonder-
the other temple is, right?
of course. I
You
used
take
to
everybody.
be someone in this town.
You take everybody there, Bran. We're gonna quickly search the catacombs and find all of his belongings.
Yeah.
See if there's anybody else in there, and we'll continue on.
Ebner, let's grab some of the soldiers that are running around here. Let them know what we found. That we found survivors.
We can yell at them and tell them that. Yeah.
Chives speaks up and says,
Found
I
it.
can take care of that. I can run around and find them as y'all go deeper.
I think it's of
doesn't seem like
utmost
there's too much room in
importance.
here anyway.
That we go
Yeah.
deeper. There should be nothing down there, anyways.
You can explore. You can go and fetch one of the soldiers in the night. Call them over, and they will see the emaciated folks wandering out of the temple, like straining their eyes against the brightness. And the rest of you can rejoin the party, and everyone can head into the catacombs. It's not too hard to find the important area. There's a nice long bloody trail of things that lead up to it. There's a finger over there, a pile of guts over here, an actual streak of blood there, a worn path of zombie footprints leading back to this area. It's another sort of caged-in area, but the bars here look like they were part of the original catacombs. And pushing inside, you can find what must be a workshop. There are 4 benches sort of propped up at like a 30-degree angle with metal shackles attached to them where they could bind onto feet and ankles and shoulders and necks as well. Behind this is a cleared room where someone's like removed corpses to make bookshelves, and a table has been installed with books, many books, and then vials of various inks, writing implements, all the things you might need to conduct your own Frankensteinian research.
Do the books look unholy and stuff?
I mean, not really. They're books with writings, but they're in a pretty unholy situation and setting. Most of the writing is in Eridonian.
Can you read it? Oh yeah, you can read it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Chives, that'd be the first thing he goes for.
Call
Books.
Chives over.
Yeah.
He's gonna start pouring over them.
Find a book, and it talks about the ritual for creating a zombie, and how first you need to infuse part of your life force into the zombie. And this is done by like drawing out your blood and enchanting it with magic, which comes from your very life itself. You transfer some of your life force into your blood, and then you apply it directly to the zombie's brain in a particular way. And it talks about the various ways you can access a zombie's brain without destroying the integrity of the skull, and where you need to get the blood and how you need to get there. And you need to be careful in order to do this. So like, you don't want like that little piece of the skull to fall out, so you need to carefully remove it and then sew the skin back over it, otherwise it'll fall and that can cause problems. And it goes forth to discuss that after the surgery with the magic, you end up reanimating the very bones of the creature itself, enhancing it with supernatural strength that has no bearing whatsoever to the creature's size. And then it is your willing servant. Slow and sluggish and unsuited to most tasks, they're difficult to destroy and have incredible strength. They make excellent diggers, lifters, and pushers, perfect for exhuming the freshly buried bodies. And there's a little smiley face next to that.
We should take this to the Archmage as soon as possible. Let's keep searching for...
You can
Chives will close that book and he'll make a little note in the front somewhere and say anatomy plus zombie. And
Yeah.
scratch out at the top of it.
Also, in here, you will find quite a bit of wealth. There's a bag. No, wait, how do we do this? There is a box with assorted coins that have all sort of just been haphazardly tossed in. You'll find a lot of copper and silver and just like a few trickles of gold in here. This box is going to be weighing upwards of 100 pounds, 100 and something pounds probably.
So a rough estimate of money it's like a few 100 gold maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the breakdown of the copper
Of
and
the
silver
coins,
in
but
here. Right.
Okay.
Is there more books? Is that just the only one?
There's going to be a small selection of books, and one of them talks about zombies, one of them talks about skeletons, one of them talks about spirits, one of them is more of just like musing and notes, one of them is more of a diary entry, one of them is a book, like 3 of them are books on anatomy, 2 of them are on humans, one of them is on subhumans, or, elves, halflings, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we'll take them all.
Halflings and dwarves.
I've got them all.
Is there anything else that you think we'd find important, Neil?
Let's see.
Books, money.
Books and wealth, and the tools of the trade. You're gonna find the ledgers and the notes. What
Take
would be
those.
useful for you in this area? There's no magic gear lying around. He equips himself with all of his magic stuff. He would have... you would find a collection of heads in some sort of vat of fluid, sort of arranged above the desk as if they're looking at the person who would sit at the desk, and their eyes are open and moving.
Like the eyes are moving and shit?
Yes. Not like quickly moving all over the place, but like tracking people or maybe moving from one person to the other.
I'll hold off on that. Are there any notes of him like maybe messaging someone else, talking to someone else? Is he like
It'll probably take you days to go through these things.
Comb through that? Okay.
Yeah.
If he has any like notes or any like papers that like it looked like he's like sending this out like with a postcard or something, I want to scoop those up and I'll read those later. I just want to see if he was like parlaying with anybody, I guess.
Yeah, there's no written
you're gonna have to
correspondence
fight
that you'll
Chives.
find.
I've got his diary and his notes. If you're
You'll-
going to come fight me for
The
him later.
diary is where you're going to find all the juicy information. There is conspicuously no letters received or sent.
Okay.
And no, what do you call it? Sometimes in the olden days when people would be writing letters back and forth, they wouldn't necessarily remember what they wrote. So you write the letter to someone, and then you have like a journal where you would write out the letter that you were to send to them. So that way,
So
when
you
they
knew
get a
what you said.
reply, you can like go back and forth.
Cross-reference.
So there's none of that lying around here.
All right. I think that's it, unless you guys can think of anything that we can't find that he would
Well,
have.
This might be something we do over the next 2 days, but I say we return the crypt to how it was. We take all of his stuff out. If he brought it in, that way we know we haven't missed anything. We could just disassemble his lab. These heads need to go somewhere holy. It's not here. Somebody needs to deal with this. It's not I. This is not my problem. This is YouTube. And he points at the paladin and the cleric. He goes, "This is your domain."
You're right, Chives. I wish I could. I wish I could have struck the final blow against this necromancer myself, but I did not.
Me too. But you know, they say you die twice. Once when you die and once when they forget your name. I plan to make him die the second time this evening. And Chives is going to head upstairs to the group of people who's still alive with his books.
I mean, we'll move the heads out and
Yeah.
take them out of
What
the
do you-
vat.
I mean, they look at you when you pick them up.
out of the
You
vat.
take
they
them
still
out of
look
the
at
vat?
us? Yeah.
Yeah, you go to take it out of the vat and it feels mushy. If you try and grab it by the hair, some of the hair just like comes out in your hand. You're gonna have to like reach around on either side of the face.
Yeah.
Which is
What if I try to do that?
It tries to bite you.
Really?
Yeah.
Would
I
you
mean-
say this is a threatening encounter, Koivu?
No, because it's pretty easy to avoid the bite. You'd literally have to put your fingers inside of its mouth.
All right. Well, I don't let it bite me and I pull it out.
Yeah. It sort of gnaws at the air at you for a moment and then stops and just stares at you.
Does it stop?
Valerio takes his sword out and he asks Ebner to Ebner, if you put this on the table, I think we need to haste this thing onto the afterlife. It doesn't seem to be alive.
Hold on. I put it on the table and I take my finger and I like try to make it eye tracked. Is it still looking at shit?
I mean, it's not following your finger. It's sort of staring at you.
But is it looking around or is it just blank stare, like dead?
It's typically staring in one direction, but it might move from time to time. You know?
I think, I think you're right. Just put it out of its misery.
Do you know any interesting languages that you could use to maybe communicate with it? If it's incommunicated, then I think we need to just move on.
I refuse to try and communicate with.
Well then, so be it. And I take my sword out and I probably go straight like through I just hack it like a watermelon. I just hack it into like a watermelon.
Yep, you split it.
Yeah. And I do the same thing for any other head that's still, unfortunately, looking around and somehow still aware despite it being decapitated from its body. Try to put it out of its misery.
Yep. You can take all the jars, open them, pull out the heads, and destroy them.
Except for one? Could we
one?
carry one with us? Could we carry one with us?
I want to carry one in a jar and take it to the Archmage.
Take it to the Archmage, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You keep a head in the jar. Does anyone venture down the place where all of the people of the town were kept?
I don't think we need to see it. I know. I mean, I think
You
we
said
know
you
what
do
happened.
or you don't?
No, I don't think we do.
Didn't we already? Oh, is this a different place than the people that were taken prisoner that we let free?
The
from?
people who were taken prisoner were set in one area, and then the necromancer had his lair in another area.
I think we know what happened there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Oh wait, none of y'all are gonna go in there? Yeah. If you come back and say there's a room y'all didn't go in, Chives will walk as the last back down and in there and take a look around.
I don't think we're gonna.
I'll probably go with him. Just like there may be something down there. Like I wasn't able to convince the holy men, but
Well,
I want Ebner's ring when I go do it though. I want the light ring.
Are we able to maybe do this next session? I gotta kind of dip out, I guess. It's
oh,
Oh yeah,
sure.
we should. We're a little
Yeah,
over, so we
sorry.
can dip out here. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, I think we all know what's down here. You will find chewed remains of bones and
anything
undesirable
valuable.
parts. No, nothing of
Chives
value.
just making sure there's no
Okay.
one just passed out dead that they just left down here and
Yeah.
being
Yeah, no,
zombified,
that's
forgetting to eat.
true. I
Just
would
make sure there's
probably-
nobody else still alive lying down there. As soon as that's confirmed, he's out.
All right. Yeah, there's no one down there, and there's nothing of value down there, but there are
Okay.
horrors that will never leave your mind to be found. Things that would make the Donner Party look like a group of saints. And with that, we will go out. We'll do this really quick ending because we're already well over our time. So I'm Koibu. That is Jebediah. That is also Connor, and that is MrMouton on MrMouton. Twitch.tv/MrMouton. That is, God damn it, Azure, Twitch.tv/AzureWind, and Twitch.tv/
Will
can't remember
kills.
your
Will
Will
Kills.
Kills. That's it. All right.
There's
We
no
all have-
XP chat.
Not today. We'll get some XP when we finish some other greater quests.
Quest XP, yeah.
Yeah, and we will see you guys next time for some more Desperate Measures.
Awesome. See ya.